Yeah, man.
That's hot shit right there, man.
So what we gonna do? We gonna dub?
News networks are not even getting clicks like that. So this shows like there's an opportunity for this, what we're doing here on this show.
Look up something in back check, kind of like cross-reference.
Yeah, I should put the.
Hey, look that shit up. That's the name of your show.
Yeah,
that's right. What really drew me in.
Remember, we want you to be an activist, and don't take our word for it. Look that shit up. Pulley. And hope I don't get in trouble for playing that last video. I probably shouldn't have played that shit. I'm always testing the damn waters, bro. That shit gonna get me.
You are now so
Who and what are we gonna complain about tonight?
You are now so deep.
Dime qué tú quieres, papi. ¿Quieres que lo mueva para ti? Mueve, mueve. ¿Te gusta cuando me muevo así? Así. Mueve, muevo, mueve.
Hey, you, we up in the place. We up in the place. We up in the place. Hey, you, make your body shake. Make your body shake. Make your body shake. Hey, you, we up in the place. We up in the place. We up in the place. Hey, you, make your body shake. Make your body shake. Make your body shake. Hop, hop, jump, skip up on the floor. If they didn't know, then we gon' let them know. Drop low, giving them a show. We gon' give them something that they never seen before. Hop, scotch, 784. Bouncing on the beat while keeping the flow. Stop, watch, freeze and go. Cock-a-doodle-doo is what you eating off the floor. Pop, lock, do it by yourself. You know you the best, you don't need nobody else. Rock, hip, toast to success. You was born a winner, so you never nothing less. Hey, you, we up in the place. We up in the place. We up in the place. Hey, you, make your body shake. Make your body shake. Make your body shake. Hey, you, we up in the place. We up in the place. We up in the place. Hey, you, make your body shake. Make your body shake. Make your body shake. Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, wiggle. When we come through, make you move just a little. Clap, snap, do it from the hip. You can do this whether you stand or sit. Pump, fist, do it with your wrist. Pump it back and forth like you trying to catch a fish. Hip, twist, do a finger kiss. Rocking back and forth as you make your body shift. Top, tick, do it like you sick. 2 + 4 is 6, and that's a ripper thick. Top, 6, we gon' let it rip. We got your attention and we not gon' let it slip. So hands up, move your head and know what's up. Now it's shoulders rolling while you showing them your stuff. Hey, you, we up in the place. We up in the place. We up in the place. Hey, you, make your body shake. Make your body shake. Make your body shake. Hey, you, we up in the place. We up in the place. We up in the place. Hey, you, make your body shake. Make your body shake. Make your body shake. Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Bow, bow, rock, rock, shake, shake, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Make you move just a little, 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 just a little.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Flame Jack on this one, Jack on this one. Yeah, peep it out. This that real hip hop.
Hey, flaming shot,
So you lames can stop.
cause we flaming hot.
This that real hip hop.
Hey, flaming shot,
So you lames can stop.
cause we flaming hot. I'm about to expose this. What's the
They
prognosis?
have medication, I don't know their diagnosis.
You niggas is some roaches. You wanna approach
The
this?
chopper stand for rage, so you can call it roasting.
Man, I ain't posting. You flow in slow motion.
Bang, bang, nigga, look how your chest is open.
Main thing is gonna change when me and Flame take over the fucking game.
The order 16 bars, and we know we go hard.
Polyboo Fonte, nigga, pass the cigars.
Je m'appelle Flame, Flame, and your girl give brain.
Chica, señorita, mira, I got dick.
Little poquito, won't you go and swallow it?
Dolce Gabbana, I bought it, now you model
If
it.
your essay trick, then I'ma hit him with them hollow tips.
That shit hot flame, let's go and dive.
This that real hip hop,
Flaming shot,
so you lames can stop.
cause we flaming hot.
This that real hip hop,
Hey, flaming shot,
so you lames can stop.
cause we flaming hot.
They jockers in the game like a MJ fadeaway.
They gon' know my name, it ain't never gon' fade away.
One bullet plus your face, nigga, that equals a takeaway.
Bust through like a fullback, nigga, I'ma make a way.
Taking shots, young nigga, like a Steve Nash
Me
breakaway.
and Flame holding shit down like a fucking paperweight.
Working hard to kill a nigga, homie, you could call it Labor Day.
Use a bitch, homie, gon' drink on your haterade.
Rapping about where the quarters that we blitz you like a quarterback.
Where your daughter at? She into sacks like Warren Sapp.
Make you fumble your nuts like you was hit by a
You
cornerback.
wanna battle rap, so act like you want it, black.
Separate your nuts and put your brains where the cattle's at.
Time to go, nigga, get your ass in the Cadillac.
Lollygagging this shit, talking, nigga, we ain't having that.
Hip hop is coming back. Imagine
It's
that.
that real hip hop,
Flaming shot,
so you lames can stop.
cause we flaming hot.
This that real hip hop,
Hey, flaming shot,
so you lames can stop.
cause we flaming hot.
This that real hip hop, we won't flip flop. Watch when the album drop, that'll be something you cop. It's flaming chalk, man, and you know that we hot.
We on the spot, nigga, and we not young jock. We got them Glocks pop.
Aim and pop, give me 3 seconds, let me reload the clock.
Tick, 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 goes the clock on the wall. Don't give a motherfuck that you all gon' fall. We all gon' ball. We up in the mall, buying anything we see.
We your enemy with the beef ready to creep. Chock, chock, and flame, flame, we on your street. Real hip hop shit, this really is classic. But I'm spitting off my tongue. It could get drastic, it could get nasty. Wrap you in plastic, show your boy that you ain't nothing but a bastard. Slash the actress
Flame, don't do them like that. They know that shit whack with them elementary raps. Why you even think about putting that on wax? Nigga, I'm spitting facts, the truth. When I strap up my black boots, my troops coming through.
I pop shots where your kids at. Put the Glock to your nuts and push your kids back like where your sperm like burn you like perm. And I bet you learn you ain't fucking with a flaming chalk, you're getting burnt.
Hey, hey, hey. And we ain't never heard nothing like this
We
before.
did that shit that y'all think that the flamers do, and we did that shit.
You know what I'm saying?
We think we the shit, nigga.
Hey, we ain't never heard nothing like this.
Chock, chock,
We hot,
oh boy.
and we not gonna stop.
Oh boy.
We not gonna stop. Seven alarm blaze. Yeah. Come on, yeah, yeah, yeah.
People say evil cause I clear out their conscience. Stupid ass, he on the ground, open linking in his vomit. Pissing shit, ain't that a bitch? I just that nigga kid. Divide and conquer, fuck the sponsor, we in the streets like kids. Time they span your wig, let me your ears, call them Caesar. They set me everywhere like black cards, fuck Visa. I'm fighting like your sets in the summer, so call them fever. I even run the streets like Slim Thug with the heater. Shot stopping like Jeter, that super villain demeanor. Hit you with the ventilators, clip foot of the penetrator. Like a channel in the post, for bumping we demonstrators. Middle finger the nigga haters, won't see us with triple digits, trigger litters. My dog got 99 like Rockaway. I rock like Camaro, and you will recline a chair. They call it dog food, take a snippet, turn the baby brain. I am the game, put me in the needle and tap the vein. I'm on a mission, you niggas is barely competition. On the grind, peeping and pitching, call the hustlers intuition. Fishing now, bitching, I'm fishing for them stacks. Just like in them white packs and serving lyrical crack. Yeah, I'm on a mission, you niggas is barely competition. On the grind, peeping and pitching, call the hustlers intuition. Fishing now, bitching, I'm fishing for them stacks. Just like in them white packs and serving lyrical crack. Never understood how a hustler could turn to smoking stones. Man, mind your own, cause mine and mine will leave the broken bones. I don't want the throne, just my money long and African stones. You napping at home, I'm delivering like I'm Papa Jones. We buzzing like a ivy, you sweeter than Mike and Knight. Take a hike before I smoke the bitch out like a motorbike. Yeah, eat a soldier type, you should people, you might just learn something.
Fuck with my paper, my family.
And I'ma burn something. Think I love stunting like baby, you got me fucked up. Eat the next up, think not, they put your bucks up. Your bitches suck up, it don't matter because I'm off now. Hit the right spot,
She open up like a throat box.
all broke block, being bit like forced entry.
We envy these hits for the next century. KC and the kid.
Pull out the velvet rope.
And I hear him singing like a dot. Call me in the soup.
I'm on a mission, you niggas is barely competition. On the grind, peeping and bitching, call hustlers intuition. You sit down, bitching, I'm fishing for the stack. Just like in them white packs and serving lyrical crack. Yeah, I'm on a mission, you niggas is barely competition. On the grind, peeping and bitching, call hustlers intuition. You sit down, bitching, I'm fishing for the stack. Just like in them
Right packs and serving lyrical crack.
Copping change, dipping on the lane, sipping on my drink, gripping on my grain. This lyrical gift that I've obtained is something that cannot simply be explained. The resistance, I'm living my entire existence is strange. Even in this instance, I'm deranged. I can't change the game, so I play and witness its infinite range. I'm losing it, man. I'm in the turning lane. Arithmetic is the thing. 2 + 4 = 6. How can I be satisfied with just terrestrial fame? I've invested in it, and it's the Equinox correctional aim. Tennessee directional. I know I got some critics, and I say keep on hating, man. I'm just trying to put some lyrics in it, man. I'm on the mission, you niggas is barely competition. On the grind, keeping attention, trying to make good decisions. Sit at home bitching, I'm fishing for them stacks. I'm slinging them white packs and serving lyrical crack. Yeah, I'm on the mission, you niggas is barely competition. On the grind, keeping attention, trying to make good decisions. Sit at home bitching, I'm fishing for them stacks. I'm slinging them white packs and serving lyrical crack. Yeah. Heat 'em up. Heat 'em up. Heat 'em up. Heat 'em up.
Hey, how y'all doing out there? How y'all feel? Remember, we want you to be an activist. Don't take our word for it. Look that mess up for your own sake.
Yeah.
Thank you, God, for this day we have lived, everything in our life, our health, our family, the guidance you have given us. Allow us guidance to the path of righteousness with no sway towards the evils of our lower self. Amen. Amen. Ra.
Amen.
What's up, Pat? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. How about yourself?
I can't complain. It's all good. I really do feel good today. Um, yeah, man. You know that track I just played. That beat. I'm really not happy with how that song came out because what happened was I was so in love with that track. I still love that track a lot. Like I'm talking about the beat, because I made it.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how like you make it be your baby. So, but the problem is you should always have somebody else mix your shit for you, because I mixed that song, and being that I was the one who made that beat, I fucking had that beat mixed way too fucking loud. And it's because certain aspects, and I remember when I mixed the beat should have been mixed down better, and then the master mix should have pushed the beat down even further. And every time I listen to that song, I think about that. I'm like all the mistakes I made with it. But I really like it a lot because, like I said, even from the beginning, I was in love with that beat. I was in love with that beat. So to this day, because I like the beat so much, I still really like the song because I be listening to the track.
So
Yeah.
you don't mix down all your songs?
No, I'd much rather have somebody else do it. It's always going to be better. It's always going to be better if you made the track to have someone else mix it for you. It's always going to be better. It's been my experience. It's because I have a really good ear, but you're biased to your own stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're biased to it. If something in there doesn't sound good or something is too loud or whatever, you're like, in your mind, you're like, I really like that sound. So I want it to be up so people can really hear it. But the engineer, if you get an engineer to mix it for you, he's immediately going to be like, that sound is way too loud. And he's going to
Yeah.
automatically push it down. Yeah. So I prefer to go to the studio and I tell everybody that if you do music, it's totally fine to record at home. It's totally fine to record at home. There's nothing wrong with it. But I think that you should do the song and record it yourself and then go to a studio and have it professionally recorded again. And the song, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it doesn't come out better. Sometimes it doesn't. But most of the time it does because you're gonna have a cleaner, crisper sound. The engineer is going to catch that stuff, those little things that you missed.
Yeah, and sometimes they just don't. Sometimes they're not in supreme sound mode. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. So like there's a few cases where there was a couple of songs that came out better at home than in the studio. It happened and sometimes it's the feel too. It could be you, because if whoever's performing, if you're the performing artist, it could be you that day. You wasn't really feeling the song that day, and that's why it didn't come out as good.
True.
Because I've had songs that I overworked the song, and it gets to the point where I don't even like the song. I remember one time I was in the studio, and I'm paying for time. We're halfway through a song, and I'm like, you know what? I don't really feel this song anymore. And we literally stopped recording that song and moved on to something else. Waste of fucking time. It happens. Look at the photo. Yeah. Can y'all see the photo? If y'all anybody driving, just look at it on the screen. The photo that I used for this song on YouTube. I purposely picked this image. I searched it up, and anyways, it looks like it's a black child, clearly, that's malnutritioned, and it's like they're trying to eat the Holy Bible. That's what they're holding in their hand, like they're trying to bite it. And then underneath it, you see the Quran, and then there's other holy books underneath there. So, I mean, like, the image is just supposed to, speak 1,000 words on, you can't eat religion. Like, you can't eat the Bible. The Bible's not going to give you your body sustenance. And then your nourishment that you need for your body. And then there's all the other holy books are there, and those are not going to do it either. Because when it comes down
And
to survival, you need to eat. And that's what
my
happens though,
cousin,
right?
one of my
Wait, let me say
cousins,
one
I
more
have a
thing.
problem with that.
I know this makes a lot of people angry, this image right here. And then it's like, so, but then what do they do though, right? They always have these missionaries. They go and try to save the kids in Africa or whatever. And then what do they give them? You know what I'm saying? And they can't do nothing with that. So these people think they saving the world. These people that, like, let's say a person that doesn't have those religions, they don't look at things the way you do. And you're like, oh, well, they don't know nothing about Jesus. So I need to let them know about Jesus so I can save their soul. So they don't go to hell. So Jesus, you know, these people are going to go to hell just because they never got introduced to Jesus. He's the light in the
Nope.
way.
Yeah, man. That's well, you know, I was in the middle of a conversation earlier about the Bible and things like that, because the guy, he's just like, I just don't get down with it. I was like, you know, how can you have anything balanced and it doesn't have anything with women, or at least what it, because I was like thinking to myself, I was like, they don't really say anything positive about women in the Bible. And
Yeah.
it's like, you know what I'm saying, there's no way that this, they like, because if you really think about holy, HOLE, I mean LY, holy, what would be the correct spelling for something that's really full? WHOLEY, well, holy. So, like, if you really, like, like maybe it was purposely spelled that way to take away or make it, I don't know. It's just,
It's a whole mind fuck.
I just don't know. Yeah.
Oh.
I've said it for years, though, that, like, I some of the people who are the biggest, into religion the most are women. Was like, how can they fall or go with this so hard and so strong, and they talk about them so bad, and I guess it's the traumas that they've been through that make them feel like they.
Well, and I hate that too. But I think that they take it in, right? They take in what the Bible is saying, and they believe, especially the Adam and Eve story. And then the women, they just feel like it's like, well, God just created us this way, and it's kind of like what I be saying about people, black niggas. They be like, oh, well, if you're gonna treat me like an animal, then I'm gonna just be that. Then, you know what I mean? I think it's similar with this because they accept and believe what's in the Bible. So then I should be submissive to a man. And plus, I'm like the bane to humanity. Like, I'm just a problem. And so it's like nothing I can really do about it. So I'm going to just accept that role. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When they
But
believe
I'm
it.
like,
Because I agree with you completely, man. I think that's how could you read the Bible as a woman and then be like, okay, come away with this and be like, okay, well, this was fair to women.
yeah, this is not partial at all. This is like, really, like, everybody has a capacity, the capability of being bad, but we also had the capacity to be good. So, like, not to show the balance for any and everybody, because I mean that's like the whole thing. Like, Rome, I mean, was like the men like boys. Like, I mean, they just call it like it was, like it. You know what I'm saying? Like it is. It not just is, but they like
Yeah.
boys, and that's what they promoted. That's what you know what I'm saying. They wanted to put more men on the you know they idolize other men more than they did their women, and it's just crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's crazy.
if
I
you
saw
really
this
look at if
post.
you really look at
Go ahead.
No,
I
you
was
can go because
gonna say I saw this post where it's a really old tradition, where it was like, okay, the woman is giving birth and they tie like these string rope or whatever it to the men's testicle, and it's a whole ritual around this and the position that the guy is in and the woman is in while she's giving birth, and whenever she feels pain during the birthing process, she pulls on it. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
And the idea is that the man gets to feel the pain or some of it or bit of it that she feels, giving birth. He gets
yeah.
to go through the experience with her a bit, you know. And a lot of people was talking about, and it's like, you know, I think today a lot of men would not be feeling that. You know what I'm saying? Would not be down with that.
No.
Or at the very least,
Mm-mm.
it would make them think again about having a bunch of kids. Because maybe after that first one, he'd be like, "Man, I don't know, man. My nuts can't handle another child." you know. So, but then that also brings it back to the woman, because it's like the woman is. I'm sure she's thinking like that too. A lot of men be like, "Okay, I want to have 5 kids with you, or whatever." You gonna, and like it's easy for the man to say like, "I want to have 5 kids," but your wife got to push all of them out. She needs to be down with that.
There's some women that wants more than the men though.
That's true too, but she gets to have more say as far as that's concerned. I would say, especially in our society, she's the one that's got to carry the baby. She got to push that baby out. So if the man
True.
wants more kids than the woman does, then he needs to be more. He needs to compromise. But again, it goes back to the Bible. In most societies, it's gonna be the dude deciding on this. Well, the woman's gonna choose, but I mean, once they get married, if the husband's like, "Man, I want 5 kids," then the wife is obligated to give him 5 children, whether
Hmm.
she's feeling that or not. I think in most societies around the world, I think that will be true.
Well, yeah, maybe. But I don't know. I think still in all, it really should be more so what's the purpose from both, no matter who, because what's the purpose of this child? What,
What are
before
we
the
trying to
child
do here?
comes,
Yeah, what is
yeah,
our
what
plan?
exactly? Like,
I,
what, because I mean, honestly, like there's stuff that we're studying, in our indigenous culture that, like we can plan children. You could be, they know when to for you to have sex if you
yeah,
want a boy, if you want to have a girl, if you want to have somebody that's more scientific, one that's more, what I'm saying, like
all that stuff
you're
related to
more
the weather and the cycles of the
what
sun and
a
moon and all that shit.
yes.
Yeah. So, but
So
yeah, doing things without purpose though. I think we just stumbled on something, because I have been thinking about this. You know how like people move around and then they do something and it's like, what's the point? Because it's like, okay, let's say you're at a U-turn, and there's cars coming in your opposite direction from you and undetermined speed, and you want to just swing that U-turn, you know what I'm saying? So that you can hurry up and do it, right? So but
hmm
then what I say to that is, what's the point? And then there's a you probably come into a light. Are you gonna be any further ahead or whatever? Like if you just let this traffic go by, you might make it. You might make it before they come. You might make it. But then what's the point in that stress and that, doing that maneuver when you could just let them go by and just go right afterwards? And then it's literally, you probably will be in the same spot you was in, like 1 car back, 2 cars back or something at the light. You get what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, I think a
yeah,
lot
that
of
debate.
people
I go through that
that
debate all the time, especially with this truck and the time, like how because it takes longer for it to get started going, and uh, the ability for it to stop. Like, I mean, there's a lot of thought that goes into each movement of that truck. So
so
I
so I
I,
think
I totally get what you. Yeah.
I think a lot of people go through life and they don't they
they do things that have no point really. Like they're not really like thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is the devil's playground. You know what they say, idle hands is the devil's playground or whatever. So I really feel like when you do all of these activities with no point, then therefore it's a destructive activity by default. You get what I'm saying? Because you're
yeah.
not, you don't have no, what led to this is the idea of you talking about having a plan.
The
If you don't have a
consideration
plan,
of it, or lack thereof, how your consideration. Like I said, how much you consider something usually determines a better outcome. And vice versa. The less that you consider something, the less
the
success
worse
will
the
come from
outcome likely is going to be. So that's what I mean though about the zombie robots and people just moving through life and automatically just doing this, that, and the other, and they're not thinking about what the point of it is, and then they do something really stupid and put themselves in a position that causes a negative outcome, and for no reason at all, you know. And so that's what I mean. Like, I think that if you start moving around that way, then evil, the devil, or whatever, your lower self, it automatically is taking the wheel, by default. So, you could purposely do stupid stuff or evil things or harsh things or whatever and think about it. But you could, it's just that when you don't think about it, it's more likely to be that. If that makes any sense. Like, you could choose what you want to do, but when you just let your body just go and you just doing things for no reason with no real point, like we talking about the children, right? So it's like, okay, just making babies just to make babies. Like, what kind of outcome do you think is going to happen from that situation?
Yeah, or just I mean, just because I mean, just the Wonderland idea. I know, like, I've always just, when I was, growing, like, I knew I wanted kids. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, and of course, I was 35 when I had my first, well, my only child. But however, it's just like there was times where things got close, or where I could have had children at sooner, and I wasn't, didn't I wasn't really mentally prepared. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, like I said, like it wasn't totally planned. Like, I was married. I had, we were wanting to have a kid or whatever. But the more I learned, like, even to this day, like, I didn't plan it properly. And, like, even though, like, things kind of just went together, but it doesn't necessarily mean that things were gonna just,
Fall into
really,
place.
like, there's no way. Yeah, there's really nothing that left me to believe that things were just gonna be just fine. It was all just on hope, and of course I give good effort. Of course, I make sure my part by providing, and you know my guidance as far as teaching what I know to teach or whatever. But honestly, I guess I'm mainly, my point is that I wish I had understood and known more for my first kid, because I have any other children, I have a lot more to consider before having them. You know,
Yeah.
because
So
now I have to go through the whole steps of trying to figure out, or trying to guide him, find out the life path, or like what, because there's other ways. Like, he's here now, so I still have to find, get, because they have these things, like these readings that you can go through to find out what his path should be, or at least in the realm, put him in certain positions of study, because that'll be what is closer to what he would be good at, based on when he was, when he was born.
So
Well,
the name of
yeah,
this
but I
show,
mean,
The name of the show is Don't Look Up. So, and they have that movie, and then they have it's like a clip that's been going around where it was like a real life parody because it was like a scene that happened that was so similar to the scene in the movie, and that's what's been floating around the internet, and that kind of got my eye. But really, I just did that for the, related to that as far as that. But the point of the Don't Look Up is like, I was thinking about your phone. It's like, don't look up from your phone because you might see life. You may see life, and I'm being sarcastic or I'm saying it backwards because it's like,
Of course.
we're missing life looking at our screens. And then, I think that society wants you to not look up. You know what I'm saying? The system wants
Hmm.
you to keep looking at your phone and not actually look up and see the real world at all, you know?
Well, I
So
mean,
that's what
it's
I
not,
mean.
and I don't think it's only that because I mean that's, of course, where it began or where it begins, but also when it comes to the, alternate realities of, the Oculus, like don't take the glasses off, or what I'm saying, like I mean, however you want to look
Right.
at it, but it's like,
The metaverse.
don't worry about real life. Look, this is better. This is, you can create it. You can, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I think those of us who have somewhat of a sound mind, not all of us crazy, but to some extent, but some of us already can see where that's gonna go.
Yeah. So don't look up. That's what they are saying. You know what I'm saying? Don't look up. And that's what the name of the movie was, because it was like the asteroid or something coming to destroy the planet. And it's like, just go on about your life. Don't look up. You know?
Yeah.
Don't
Wow.
even
Hey,
attempt to.
I didn't know what angle you were gonna go at with it because like I've been seeing different things where they're talking about the UFOs and so I didn't know what direction you were gonna go with this, but that's okay. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at on it. They've been talking about the UFOs and stuff. It's like Jordan Peele got a new movie. I want to check it out. I ain't gonna lie. And it's called, what is it called? Nope. Yeah, I want to check that out. There's another movie I want to check out. It's called Bullet Train. Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyways, yeah, don't look
I
up.
don't know any. Yeah, I don't know any of the movies that's out right now other than like Love and Thunder and Minions, because that's what my son wanted to see.
Yeah. Uh, yep. The Minions. Somebody else went to see Minions and they said it was good. My coworker
It
went with his
was.
his. They do a good job with those movies. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a big fan of Pixar. What was I gonna say? I want to play this clip. And then after this clip, I want to get into some of the stuff y'all sent me this week before I get into the stuff that I have for y'all today. Because y'all sent me some stuff. I don't know if it was you or dudes. It's something I saw on that list that was interesting that I kind of wanted to talk about before I get into my
Yeah, I
stuff.
sent a few. I know I sent a few things, but
Yeah. Let me play
and I
this
and
right
I
here,
saw
and then
that
I'm
you
gonna.
sent a few. I saw that you sent a few videos, like Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, whatever I
Something
sent
like
y'all in
that.
that group, I want to cover at some point this week.
Yeah.
Let me play this.
Quality of food and anything to put into my body. It is not going into my body. They treat ganja like drugs over here, and they are genetically modifying herb and shifting the THC CBD balance to give you the highest high, like it's coke them trying to create with the ganja. I don't promote that. You have to be careful what you're putting into your brain, right? Because all of the energy surrounding the way it was planted and so on, all of this goes into your body. Just like when you eat animals, all of the tension that is created inside these animals when they're about to be slaughtered, you internalize it when you eat it. So you have to think about the herbs in the same way. If you can't get the ganja, you have to go learn to meditate without it. And you have to go find some other herbs too. Because We're not just promoting getting high. Do your investigation, do your research, and find out if it is really that important to you. So you have to look at, why am I using this herb? Am I a junkie? Am I addicted to this thing? Because we're not promoting addiction either. So unless I can get the best quality of food and anything to put into my body, it is not going into my body. They treat like.
Yeah, she touched on a few important things, I think, and the bud is so dangerous. You know, there's a report that came out. People are having heart attacks from smoking weed, and I was thinking about it. And I'm like, it's so ironic that weed is more legal than it's been in a long ass time, but it's also more dangerous now, probably than it's ever been.
Well, I
Like
mean, that's
before,
because it's not being grown naturally. I mean,
yeah,
I know a few people that grow, and but I mean, I don't smoke, so I mean, I don't really, what it's all doing. But I know, well, it's been times where I've been like, okay, let me just take a puff, and I get like a little small puff, like a half a puff, and I'm zooted, bro. Like I'm totally like way too high to do anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, this shit is insanely, like it's too much. And I didn't really think of the idea of a GMO weed marijuana plant until like later through it after it all. But that's really what it is. It's genetically modified, and then they're adding things to it to make it, where the THC levels are way higher than normal.
yeah. So it's dangerous. Um, now it's and then so the point of what she's saying, you have to be careful what you're putting into your brain. You know, that's the whole
Your
point that
body,
caught my
period.
eye. Yeah, so that's what caught my eye. And it's more than just the weed, and like I say, it's more than just what you eat in too. It's also what you're consuming in other ways.
Yeah.
And I think we need to think about that for our mental health. You know, our physical health, our
Well,
mental health is related. What we're consuming is it's making us sick, and they wanted to make us sick. And like she said about the trauma that the animals go through when they're being
of course.
slaughtered,
Yeah, yeah. I
that's
mean,
another
because I'm
part.
gonna tell you the halal, getting
Yeah,
your meat, going through the halal process really is a big deal. Like especially now, like honestly, like you got to really think too. There's some people who, when they get into a certain business, you better be careful. Whether Gil Bates is running around and buying up farms, and he's not being shy about well, I don't think he's telling people exactly the plan, but you just got to think what he's been trying to get into people's body. And I think with any means necessary, he's gonna get them in your body. So you better be careful where you, because I mean, a new rule that I have is no farm raised meat.
yeah. I think
I
halal
mean,
makes a
wild.
big difference. The trauma of that animal and the way their living conditions, and what I'm saying, all of that shit, it'd be horrible.
Yeah,
So if the whole life of the animal was horrible, and then the animal got slaughtered in a horrible as frightening as terrible way, then you consume it, if you think that doesn't have an impact on you, and then
well, see that it's just they're just like us. Like I mean, through certain things that we go through, our body lets off of certain chemicals, and
right,
I mean it's the same thing with any creature. They have that capability of letting off certain chemicals that is gonna go into like right into the blood system, and it's going to carry throughout the body within seconds. So I mean, and then you have to really think about a lot of them are in fear the whole time because they're looking at the animal in front of them getting slaughtered. So they're
exactly.
seeing all the stuff that's going on. So like it's an ongoing process. But there's more, man. There's a lot more to even really think about and consider too, because,
They're
bro,
doping them up, and that's what I was about to say. The damn chickens, them leg quarters. I don't like to fuck with them leg quarters, and it's crazy because people be so concerned about what they eat and what they consume and what they put in their body, and then they go buy these leg quarters because they're cheap, and it'd be like $4 or whatever, and that's cool and whatever. I mean, you gotta eat, but at the same time, it's like they're like, it's more meat, it's more meat. Okay, well, how did that get to that point? Like, I've been on in the country and I've seen chickens, and I've never seen chicken with legs and thighs like the ones that we get in the grocery store. Like something ain't
yeah,
right with that. So
they damn near the size of a turkey leg.
like, and people are okay with it because they're like, oh, it's more meat. And then they're like, if they buy food from like a restaurant, like a fast food restaurant, it's like the chicken pieces, I want the big pieces, like, you know, and it's like, okay, yeah, you want more meat, and I understand that, and that makes sense. But is your brain clicking to the fact that, like, how is it, why can they sell those leg quarters at $4, and why are they so fucking big? How healthy is it really for your damn body?
But no,
what are they putting in that shit,
bro? I sent everybody a video this evening that I watched about parasites, and it pretty much goes through how, like, I mean, these processing centers are not clean at all. I mean, they got cats, rats, mice, whatever you want, that's in these places that they say pretty much controls these animals' movement or whatever. But when you really look at the whole thing, like there's feces, like there's cow, like it's so much stuff that's going on at these processing centers, and it's far from clean. They're not cleaning up after every kill and this, that, and the other. But there's poop, there's organs, there's like all kind of shit all over the place in these places. It's just, if you saw how the process was, like, you probably would really change your mind about what you're actually eating. Like, you would probably want to deal with a farmer, like if somebody who's growing it, and get your stuff taken care, cleaned, done at a certain place so that you know what kind of process it's going through. But
because these big companies don't give a damn, they're just trying to cut prices. They're trying to cut costs so they can make as much profit as they want, and they don't care about none of that stuff. So it's like, and that's what kills me about people.
They don't care if the cow died over into a pile of shit. Like, I mean,
or if it had cancerous tumors, they just cut that shit out. Like, you ain't gonna never know. Fucking if it's really sick and shit, like, you ain't gonna never know. And so
yeah, it could have had cancer. It could have had some. Yeah, I mean, the animal could have had cancer. It could have had who knows what whatever. But
yeah, and what kills me is people trust these companies, and they act like it's clean and shit. And like the straws, people feel like they like to drink out of straws because they feel like it's cleaner. But if the glass is dirty, then the liquid that's in the glass is dirty too. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're drinking it through a straw, you're not doing nothing. Like, and then think about with those straws. How do you think those were manufactured? And then where do you think when they were packaged or whatever, how they were dealt with? That thing doesn't say sterile on the package.
I mean, and even if it does say sterile, it doesn't really mean that it is sterile. I mean, like, it's a mass production of stuff that's going on with each product. Plastic is not healthy, first of all. The chemicals that's made for it or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, what would be the process of sterilizing it? Because, I mean, I guess there could be a better way for it. But
your hospitals are not as clean as what you think they are. So, yeah. I mean.
Yeah. Deuce.
Yeah. What's up, man?
Welcome back.
Hey, thank you. I'm ready to go back. Shit.
Missed you last week, man.
I missed y'all too, bro. Yeah, man. I wanted to come in and chime in, but I was a little bit too litty. You know,
I
when
feel you
you
say, bro. I probably wouldn't have came. Shoot, if I'm on vacation, I'm with the family or whatever. Y'all probably would not hear from. It would really depend. You know what the circumstances
I feel
Yeah.
that.
are.
I feel that. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We were. It was a
But
little
yeah,
too litty,
man,
bro.
you gotta really be
Me,
careful.
huh? Go ahead. My bad, bro.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. We all gotta be real careful about this. I mean, you gotta think like. I mean, there's restaurants that we've gone to for years that is probably not as clean. And these it don't have to be fast food restaurants because I mean, they're probably the fast foods are probably the worst. But you just I mean, you just think about it. Like everybody doesn't clean. Their place as the same way you would maybe at home or whatever. They got so much
And
stuff going on. Like you
and
have
I
no
hate the way
idea
people
what you
think.
really.
I used to work in a warehouse, and I would bake cake and I would bring it to work. You know what I'm saying? As like a snack.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying, throughout the day. And it's like a whole ass cake, so it's like I'm not gonna eat a whole ass cake, so I'm trying to offer it to people, but nobody wants it, because they know it's a homemade cake, and people have issues with that, like, and I get it, but at the same time it's like, why do you automatically assume that the store-bought cake that you got, you know what I'm saying,
It's better
is
than the one at
cleaner?
home.
Because I think they feel like it's cleaner. They're like, I don't know what your kitchen looks like. Okay, that's fair. Well, how do you know what the hell the kitchen looks like at that
That
company that you
bakery.
At
bought the
Walmart.
plate from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they brain
Yeah.
don't go that far.
But yeah, but see, yeah, I would say that's the type of conditioning and training that they've gone through to think that that process is going to be better. Because it's associated with a certain name brand. Whether it's Walmart or who or I don't
So
like
maybe they
the
feel like if they get sick from Walmart, they can sue
Ambrosia. Yeah,
Walmart.
eh, most people, even if they do get sick, they don't even realize where it happened because of all the different places they go. They can't even really pinpoint really where they got sick.
Yeah.
Wuhan is
So
on lockdown right now. Almost a million people on lockdown in Wuhan. It's only like 4 cases that they confirmed, and they're like asymptomatic. But China being
right
China,
now,
yeah, right now they're on lockdown in Wuhan. Nobody, no large events, no moving around. They in like quarantine. They like everybody's at the house right
wow.
now. It wasn't no like outbreak really. It was like 4 cases, something like that, and asymptomatic cases. But China's like, we're not letting this shit move. So all y'all niggas locked down. I think China is, it's like other countries around the world. You got the totalitarian shit that's going on. It doesn't matter if you call it communism or democracy. It's still really totalitarianism, where whenever they have an excuse to restrain people, then they're gonna freaking use it.
Well, I mean, it's pretty much because you say totalitarian. I mean, it's you know just as bad, almost as bad. Because I mean, the media is what makes ours look so much nicer, I guess you could say. But I mean, it's fascist. Because I mean, like when people saying that we're looking at becoming this fascist or this totalitarian, bro. Our corporate entities and our government work hand in hand. Like we're already under a certain level of control that you just.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying. It's really, I'm calling it, you can call it what you want, but I'm calling it totalitarianism, just meaning, it's a few people running the show and dictating everything on everybody else. Like, we don't really have no say.
Yeah, I mean, they have systems that set in place to make it seem like there's some degrees of separation, but I mean, shit, if you really pay attention, shit, our lawmakers and lobbyists pretty much swap back and forth all the time. Like, the people who make rules end up being the people who go and they become a lobbyist, or like
on behalf of a private corporation, and they influence the laws. Yes.
Well, yeah.
A lot of times they write them.
Yeah, and then if you think about it, I mean, shoot, they got, let's say like the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Energy, the department, all these different departments. Shit, I mean, they're being run by the government and funded by corporations. So I mean, it's really all one. It's just like all those things are put there to give the appearance of some separation.
Right. So, like I say, and they'd be like, "Oh, that's a communist country," and be like, "Man, you could call it whatever the hell you want. They people getting oppressed just like us over here. So we might as well call us a communist country because they're doing the same thing to us."
Exact same thing.
Let me play this.
And like I said, I mean, it's all a trick.
Can I play
No, go ahead.
this? It's got a freaking beat in the background. I don't know if I can play it. It's Bobby Hemmett. He's talking about Noah's Ark. And like how ridiculous it is.
Species of dogs. He gotta have 2 of them. And put on around the world. Now Noah's a bad motherfucker now. He gonna go to China and get a tiger because the tiger's not in Africa. He'll get a lion from Africa. Now let's just think it right now. He gonna take 2 tigers, 2 gorillas, 2 lions, 2 hippopotamus. He don't need no more animals. He just put them on the ship. He's fucked. How the hell you gonna take a gorilla or 8? There's 200 species of dogs. He gotta have 2 of them on the ship. 4,000 species of snakes, bats, rats, spiders. Put all that shit on one boat and get his ass up in there. He wouldn't last 5 minutes. And put around the world.
Him and his family.
The idea is ridiculous. Go ahead.
I know, but say, bro, look, I have the weirdest exchanges with one of my cousins. He's one of those literal. The Bible's literal instead of I don't know. But he's with the Israel, the Hebrew Israelites and stuff. And we just go back and forth, and I'm like, bro, because me, I'm a nature, like I had to even explain to him what paganism was. Like he talked so down about paganism, or it's like, well, bro, like you don't really even get it. Like, I mean, maybe there was some forms that was evil, but I mean, giving praise to all the different aspects of that one God, because I mean, the universe is so vast that
and that's what people don't understand about, like, what is it, Hinduism, Buddhism? I get them mixed up, but it's still the same as far as like when they be saying multiple gods, but then it's really just different aspects of the universe, different aspects of God, and then they have names for them. So then it makes it it really makes more sense, because then you understand like the different dimensions of God. Like he's not always a good guy. Sometimes God does things so that's why they have gods that do horrible things, and that's what explains some of the things that happens, in the universe. So, and then they have it all. They're all really, even though it's multiple gods, even within that religion, they all encompass into one. They always have one that all of them has aspects of all the different ones.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense. So people really need
Well,
to
I
like
mean,
try to study that shit.
well, yeah, and I mean because I mean if if even if you breaking it down, the water god or the sun god, I mean really, I mean they're all a part of the one God, the one universe. But like I said, it's so vast. Like I mean, each one of us could be considered God. You know, because we're different. You know, like at one point, that's how we were looked at. We were the gods. Like there were other creatures. Because I mean, I don't. I think even in the Bible, like people put Adam and Eve as black people, but I don't believe that. I think there was black people, and then when white people came along, they were the ones that was being taught how to be civil. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I mean, and that's an aspect that I've seen before, but it's all allegory. So honestly, it doesn't matter. It's really just like you being able to learn different principles that you can live by. Um, understanding the different polarities that exist within you know what we experience day to day, or potentially will experience, because like I said, it's things that has happened throughout the world for thousands of years or whatever. Is that, well, how they give a prophecy of a certain people? But I was like, bro, like after something that happened so many different times, you know and then not to say that a lot of them predict, like they can predict what's going to happen because they already planned it for it to happen to you. You know what I'm saying?
That's a thing. Like, it's weird how when people withhold information, they feel like they're better or something or whatever. Like just because you have some information that I don't doesn't mean that you're better or whatever. What? Share the damn information, bro. We can all be on the same page. Damn. You want to feel superior, so you want to withhold information. I hate that shit. Let me play this. This is hilarious.
African. Time to play the newest game that's taking the world by storm. What kind of American? African American. Mexican American. Asian American. Native American. Arab American. American? Yes, Smackwater. But what kind of American?
European.
Shit. American. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time for What Kind of American? Time to play the newest game.
It's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. He said American? Like, what kind of American? Shit, American. Shit, I don't know.
But I mean, even with the Mexican American is crazy, because it's like, bro, like that's a country. That's not a damn like everything else is a continent. Well, the native, I guess you could say. But
it's problems with a lot of these, because African American, we already know off top, is a problem. Mexican American is a problem because that's Mexico. Like who are you talking about?
They just Americans too.
That,
you know what I'm saying?
That don't really make sense. But the other ones are okay. Arab American, and Asian American. Those are okay. Those terms are okay. And then the Native American is problematic too.
Yeah, well,
but
I mean,
anyways,
because I mean,
I
when
find
you
it
really
funny.
look at, it is actually funny as hell. But for me, I got to talk shit about it. But the most famous African American is who?
Say, I don't know.
Elon Musk.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
He's a real African American.
Yeah. So, but then he's not American. He's African.
Well, he's African, but he came and he has citizenship now, so he's really an African American. Like that, I mean, that's the whole, like, to me, like anybody from Nigeria, Senegal, like Akon or whatever. He's an African American. Somebody who's born here in America is just American, and that rule has changed for what like when they start making exceptions to rules, then it's a bunch of bullshit. So I mean, I don't know. I'm just...
All right, look, check this out. I don't know if y'all saw that it was viral. The pastor who got robbed, they came in and took his jewelry, and they robbed the congregation too. I want to say.
I heard something about that, but I didn't really see the story or read the story.
Yeah, it's not a thing. I mean, it's just kind of like funny. So that's why I'm covering it, because it's like, all right. So here it says the Brooklyn pastor who says he was robbed in the middle of giving his Sunday sermon stole $90,000 in retirement savings from one of his own parishioners. A lawsuit alleges. So, and then there's videos going around that's showing him online like flossing and bling blinging and shit. So they're like, the internet is not being nice to this guy. Yeah, the internet is not feeling it. It's like, okay, you already robbing your freaking people out of their tithes because you hustle pastor, and then you literally stealing money from them with this retirement. If somebody is suing you for $90,000, there's a good chance you did some shit that was fucking foul. There's a pretty damn good. People don't just randomly sue people.
Not usually.
So, and then he was like,
I mean, have people been wrong before? Yeah, but usually not that wrong.
And the amount that he said that got taken, that keeps going up, and it's like the number is so huge. It's like, bro, you had that much worth of jewelry on? Come on, man.
But the jewelry because I heard somebody talking about it, said, but the jewelry that you were wearing didn't get stolen.
I don't know, man. It sound, and when I first saw the video, I wouldn't be surprised if the dude, it could be like a publicity study, paid the people to come do that, and after it was over, y'all better make sure y'all bring me my shit back. Here go your money. Bring me my shit.
Bro, that was his cousin and his brother.
Yeah, insurance scam. Get the jury back and get insurance money back, and then get the sympathy of the public. I mean, I'm not saying that's what happened, you guys. Hey, I'm speculating, but
man, fuck that. I ain't no. Look, I'll say it. he robbed himself. He shook down his damn self.
Because listen, this is when I first heard it, I was thinking, if I was gonna rob a church, I would wait till these people pay their freaking tithes and come in there and get cash money. That's a lot harder to trace. You know what I'm saying? They could trace that jewelry. You know what I'm saying? Where you gonna sell it and stuff like that. Like, that's a problem. You can wait till they pay their tithes and then just take the freaking baskets and shit. You know what I'm saying? These people be chunking money on them tithes. I know it's gonna be a nice chunk of change.
Well, I think hiding that money was gonna be a lot harder than hiding the jewelry, because I mean, especially depending on how many thousands he might get into that church. Like, I don't know what they're dealing with on a weekly basis, but some of them, especially with like a mega church, I mean, you might be looking at 200,000 or 300,000 in cash on a Sunday.
Yeah,
in tithes. I mean, you're talking about 10% of, these people's salary.
Some people really pay their real tithes. Some people really do. A lot of people really do, and then they give more. So, but I'm not a criminal, so of course I'm probably botching this whole idea. I don't, condone somebody robbing a church or whatever. So that's not how I think. So I'm probably not.
Look, I'm like what's his name? that had the album Criminal Minded, KRS. You know, real criminal, but I'm criminal minded. I can see it. You know what I'm saying? I I can imagine how all this stuff went down just based on what I've been hearing. The
Let me
Brooklyn
read
pastor
this.
who says he was robbed. Who said, like, they don't even believe it. This is, I mean, who said, like, the Brooklyn pastor who says he was robbed in the middle of giving his Sunday sermon, stole $90,000 in retirement savings from one of his own parishioners, and it says a lawsuit alleges. Come on now. If they believed him, they would have been like, a Brooklyn pastor got robbed on during Sunday service.
Let me read the caption. It says, Lamar Whitehead, the bishop at Leaders of Tomorrow International Churches in Canarsie, is accused of convincing 56-year-old Pauline Anderson to invest nearly her entire life savings in one of his firms, with the promise that he could help her buy a home despite her bad credit history, the court papers say. Anderson wrote Whitehead a $90,000 cashier's check in November 2020 and relied on him to give $100 monthly allowance to pay her living expenses, according to a lawsuit. Damn, she sounds like a dumbass, bro. I gotta say that, bro. Come on. But I guess it's your pastor, so you trust him. Let me read some more. It says, after months went by in nearly 2021 without the monthly payments or progress on the home purchase, Whitehead allegedly told Anderson that he was treating her investment as a donation to his then campaign for Brooklyn Borough president. He said he had no obligations to pay it back. Mr. Whitehead fraudulently induced Ms. Anderson to liquidate her entire life savings, pay him investment of $90,000, promising to use the funds to purchase or renovate a house for her, alleges the lawsuit. Ms. Anderson was instead left with nothing but a vague promise by Mr. Whitehead to pay funds. Y'all already said that. Anderson declined to comment, though a family member who said Anderson didn't want to talk because the litigation is still pending. It says, hold on, one more thing. Whitehead, who shared a one more thing. Whitehead, who shared a close relationship with Mayor Eric Adams, who Adams served as Brooklyn Borough president, didn't respond to a message left with his church on Wednesday. He has in the past served time in state prison following convictions for identity fraud and grand larceny. The dude got his criminal history. It's like what they say. Is that your man? Is that your pastor? Is that your pastor?
You know what I'm saying? Say, bro. It just say, bro. I mean, I guess the more you hear about it, the more it don't make sense. But I'm like, okay, so this pastor, you know, which is nothing wrong with having a firm, you know, I guess an investment firm or whatever it's supposed to be, and then he's supposed to be running for some kind of off. Like, bro, this dude sounds like a scam artist. I mean, it's just he just does. But I'm gonna tell you, if he didn't rob himself, I mean, shoot, we might want to check Miss Anderson or Anderson, whatever her name is, because I'd have been so pissed off that something was gonna have to happen to him. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to get his ass whooped. He gonna get robbed. I'm gonna get something like I'm getting
especially
some of that money
like
back.
Because it wouldn't be you or me wouldn't do that, but it could be like your family member or somebody that you know, somebody that you care about that got taken by this guy. Yeah.
No, they know.
Yeah,
they know it. They know that this dude got over on me, and I'm not the type to you know, go do something to him personally. So yeah, I got family members that's gonna be like, oh hell no, that ain't gonna just go down like that. And,
yeah, nah.
know,
You're not finna just do that. That's $90,000 is not no little chunk of change. That's not no small amount of money. Look at the screen right here. It's like this is how they preparing y'all food. Like it's probably clean, but I can't help but to see these people like rubbing this stuff. It looks like the floor. It looks like the floor. Look, their feet is right there next to it, you know, and they're on the floor making this stuff. So this how they making y'all cakes. That y'all don't want to eat my cake. This how they making y'all cake. The dude's feet is right there next to the food, like while they're preparing it, and then they're rubbing it across the floor. I see flour and stuff on the floor, so it's like, I don't know, maybe they cleaned it. It's a food prep area, but it just don't look very freaking. And they probably make them not wear shoes because it's probably better, but nobody got no shoes on, and the food is right there next to their, and then it gets packaged after that. So it's in that package and looking all clean, just like those straws that people think are clean. And it's like, okay, it's in the package. It's looking all good in the package. What the hell you think it went through before they put it in the package? That's why I played this. I'm going to move on. I'm not going to stay on this.
Man.
Kelly's was talking about some drama. I'm not going to play that. And I want to play the Jon Stewart clips, but I'm going to play that in I got a video for that. If y'all didn't hear Jon Stewart. And look at this right here. It says, with federal stimulus payments unlikely, here are a few states sending relief checks to residents. So it's like, it says, let me read the caption. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announced Thursday that the state will send nearly 60,000 Florida families $450 per child one-time relief check starting this week. The state joins a number of others that are giving residents varying amounts of money in the form of stimulus checks. It's been over a year since federal government last issued stimulus checks to Americans among the COVID-19 pandemic. Hold on. Here are the states that have instated their own stimulus check programs. So I'm going to just list them here. You got California and Colorado. California is giving payments of $1,050. So California, Colorado, Delaware, Florida. Florida's kind of a surprise. Georgia, Hawaii. Georgia's a surprise too. Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Maine, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, New Mexico, Oregon, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Virginia. You don't see Texas on that list. Texas like, nah, we gave y'all enough money already. Y'all didn't want to work.
Well, I mean, it's too conservative, and like it's like, all right, I know y'all gonna do some stupid shit, so you know, just to kind of conserve what we do have, you know, they not gonna fool with it. But
check this out. The World Health Organization urges men who have sex with men to limit partners as monkeypox spreads. Washington Post article. I'm gonna move on. we talked about it a bit already.
yeah, I don't.
It's sexual contact. That's what people really just need to understand. You're not gonna get it. They're trying to scare everybody, but if you're not all promiscuous and having sex with random people, you're probably gonna be good.
And for the most part, not just random people, random men. Why is it supposed to be just men, or is it also women too? Like I don't get
Anybody
that,
can catch it. It's just that the cases have been men. The ones their cases. There's a large number of cases here in Houston. I saw the thing. We're high on the list as far as cities with it happening in it. And yeah, the cases are men. So that's why they're saying men. Anybody can catch it, but the cases have been men. So anyways, Jon Stewart went off. He's gone viral because they are trying to block a act that would help veterans who went through some kind of like what is it, gas or whatever, like if they had like lung issues, like they're gonna explain it, and these people will have better access to health care, and they're pushing it down. Anyways, let me play this. Is this the video with is this hold on. This is C-SPAN. Hold on. This is the whole clip. But I kind of want to play. Give me a second, y'all. I have another one. What's his name? Did some analysis on it. The Rational National. And let me play that. I like that video.
They haven't met a war they won't sign up for, and they haven't met a veteran they won't screw over.
Well, damn. Jon Stewart came out with one incredible speech after Republicans, of course, once again did something incredibly cruel. Voting to kill.
Well, I got to say, one thing I don't like about the video is he keeps on saying Republicans, and he's so liberal, left, Democrat guy. He's in Canada, but he's like, he's all about the Liberal Party in Canada. He's all about the Democrats here. So yeah, that I got a bit of a problem with him. Just keep on saying the Republicans. But we need to think about it differently because the reason why this thing or that thing doesn't get passed, you can't just blame one side. The system is screwed. And if you keep blaming one side or the other, that's how the system keeps on going the way it is, and nothing gets done for nobody. We need to be thinking about the people and what the people need. We don't need to be thinking about Republican or Democrat when it comes to politics. Let me play this.
A bill to improve health care for veterans that have been exposed to harmful gases while they were in the military. You really can't get lower than this. All the money these people approve for war, approve for defense contractors, won't even take care of the people that are in the middle of all of that. And of course, this has been an ongoing issue. Veterans health care has been an ongoing problem. And Jon Stewart has been at the forefront of a lot of that. And I'm telling you, I'm going to show you, big chunks of this speech. It is an incredible speech. And it also gives you a little window into how Democrats could be fighting if they actually knew how to fight. So before I get to the first clip here, let me first set it up so you know what this fight is all about. This is over the PACT Act, so the Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxics Act. So more on that here.
They know
how to fight. Years of work by advocates to improve healthcare and benefit.
Wait, my bad. What'd you say?
I think he just doesn't realize they do know how to fight. It's just that they don't want to.
Yeah.
They give the appearance that they're doing something for you, or they're doing their job, but it's always a bunch of empty promises.
Controlled opposition, good cop, bad cop. That's the reason why we can't get caught on left, right necessarily, or Republican, Democrat necessarily. Everybody is in the center, really. And it's like it really is. Everybody is in the center. Like the ones on the super far left, the extremists, the people on the super far right are extremists. They are not the majority. The majority is in the center. It's really, really, really simple.
For veterans suffering injuries from burn pit smoke, Agent Orange spraying, and other military containment exposure. It has been widely celebrated as a potential landmark legislative victory in veterans policy. Yet, the GOP voted to block it, which is interesting considering they did vote back in early June, to approve it by an 84-14 vote. But on Wednesday, after technical corrections sent the measure back to the Senate for another procedural vote, 41 Senate Republicans blocked the measure, leaving its future uncertain. So there's a lot of speculation right now in terms of why they did it. That speculation appears to be all around the fact that Manchin came out yesterday that he now has agreed with Chuck Schumer and Joe Biden to pass some sort of legislation around climate change in terms of the reconciliation bill. But that's a separate discussion. But looking at experts and their view on that so far, it really doesn't do a whole lot. But just that promise alone, that, Manchin's going to support this reconciliation package, that apparently meant that Republicans had to now take veterans' health care hostage and vote against this. Now we'll get to the other explanation that they're using.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, that's how the system works. Because see, it's like they're not gonna pass no freaking climate change thing. You know, they've been talking about it forever, and then it's just like, okay, so then he's gonna say, okay, the Republicans are not gonna. But this is how it goes: controlled opposition. Nothing gets passed. Nothing happens. You know, it's just gonna keep on the same thing. You know what I mean? And the things that really matter is not what we're focusing on. We're focusing on some vague idea of climate change, which is nobody has any idea of really how to freaking do anything about it. So keep throwing money at it or whatever, instead of really focusing on the problems that people deal with day to day. Let's start there. Let's start with improving people's lives before we, maybe if we start improving people's lives, maybe that'll impact climate change. I don't know, but they don't have an answer for that. So, but they focusing on this vague idea that is not going to help anyone. So then that's what the Republicans are arguing. And that's a fair argument. And then, but then when it's something like this that's going to actually help someone, then we don't want to do that either, because it doesn't cost. I mean, because of the cost or whatever.
Well, one of the things that usually holds up these bills is like they try to slip something into the bill that they didn't discuss originally.
Right.
Ones that because they said that they were going to do, this is the kind of bill they were going to come up with. Blah blah blah. Oh, really? That's what you're doing? Great. Look, you got my support. The bill comes out, they read it.
I need this.
Hold on.
I got to make some changes. I need this in there. If y'all want it to pass, y'all got to put this particular thing in there. And it's going to be something straight from a corporation. And what they want is going to benefit them directly.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, if that thing is not in there, then I can't pass it. I'm sorry. I can't vote for it. And that's how it goes.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be like, well, my
Patumi is using. I'll show you.
Doing is.
Right. That's what they say. And then when they're talking about constituents, they're not talking about you voters out there. Y'all think that they talking about you. They're not. They talk about the corporations.
The people who actually pay them their bonuses and everything else that they get, their handouts. That's who they're mostly concerned with.
That's who they talking about when they say constituents. Yeah. They're not talking about voters.
You that and Jon Stewart's amazing response to it. But first, let me start with how his speech began. And again, look at the approach here. The way he's on the attack. This is how Democrats should be messaging this issue and other issues as well.
So ain't this a bitch? Yeah. Ain't this a bitch? America's heroes who fought in our wars outside sweating their asses off with oxygen, battling all kinds of ailments, while these motherfuckers sit in the air conditioning, walled off from any of it. They don't have to hear it. They don't have to see it. They don't have to understand that these are human beings. Do you get it yet? You know what? I said a curse word and I'm sorry about that. That was my fault. Let me say something beautiful. This is a tweet from Senator Rick Scott of Florida from yesterday. It's beautiful. And I'm sorry about the cursing. And let me say something beautiful to make it up to you. I was honored to join the USO today and make care packages for our brave military members in gratitude of their sacrifice and service to our nation. And there's a beautiful picture. I wish you could see it. He's standing with a little package. Did you get the package? I think it has M&Ms in it and some cookies and some moist towelettes. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't even know what to say. I've been coming down here 10, 15 years. I'm used to the hypocrisy. Christina Keene will tell you from VFW. She sat in an office with Mitch McConnell and a war veteran from Kentucky, and he looked that man in the eyes and he said, we'll get it done. And he lied to him because Mitch McConnell yesterday flipped.
That Mitch McConnell impression is perfect. Now, I got more clips coming up. I'm telling you, this speech is, you know, we have to understand there's limitations to a speech in terms of what a speech can do. But I'm going to say right now, I think this will get passed. Act will help them, and him calling it out the way he is, and him, you know, with the profanities, and he gets to more of those, like all of this shows the real anger behind this that he is representing in terms of how the veterans feel about this and how they consistently get screwed despite being on the front lines for the never-ending wars that America gets into. Now, on the Rick Scott tweet, just quickly here, this is what he was referring to, talking about how, you know, he's honored to join the brave military members. And here's the images with the care package here. Oh, look how kind Rick Scott is. And then he goes and votes against veterans health care. Now, quickly, I'm going to link this below the video. So in case you want to know who exactly, if your senator voted against it, I'll link to this below. This shows you exactly. All right. So let's get to how
show us the bill so we
or
know
what
why.
Pat Toomey is saying about this. So he has come out to say that Congress must protect veterans care bill from being used as vehicle for massive unrelated spending binge. Yes, Republicans very concerned about unrelated spending, yet the party yesterday just approved what I covered with the Bernie Sanders speech, the CHIPS Act, which is just a blanket giveaway to massive corporations with no strings attached. And of course, the never-ending money, and Jon Stewart gets into this as well, the never-ending cash that is given to defense contractors with no idea where that money went. I mean, the Pentagon recently, this came out a few years ago, just like lost billions. They have no idea where it is. Just, it evaporated. So this is a, you know, to pretend you care about spending when it comes to, again,
So right here, he has an article on the screen. It says Washington, D.C. U.S. Senator Pat Toomey today spoke on the Senate floor about his effort to fix a flaw in the PACT Act. As currently written, the bill would enable $400 billion over the next 10 years in spending completely unrelated to veterans. Senator Toomey's technical fix does not reduce spending on veterans by even $1 or affect the expansion of care and benefits in the underlying bill. So that's the complaint that they have, and that was the question you had, right, Pat?
Yeah. So wait a minute, what was the
He's saying it says $400 billion in 10 years unrelated to veterans. He said there's a technical fix does not reduce spending on veterans bill by even $1 or affect the expansion of care benefits in the underlying bill. So that's what he's saying. He's saying there's a problem with the bill, like you said.
Yeah.
But that, you know, hey, is that true? We'd have to really freaking look at it.
Issue that will actually help people. Like, this is the only time they care about spending. It's healthcare. It's you know, public school. It's anything that will actually benefit people's lives. That's when they come out caring about spending. But here you have Jon Stewart speaking out against this bullshit.
Senator Pat Toomey won't take a meeting with the veterans groups. Sends out his chief of staff. I'm used to the cowardice. I've been here a long time. Senate's where accountability goes to die. These people don't care. They're never losing their jobs. They're never losing their health care.
See how when Jon Stewart talks about it, he's not separating the Democrats from the Republicans.
No, because they're the same. Well, he's
job,
talking about
he's
that one
walking away.
guy, but yeah, when it's all comes down, because all of them get the same benefits, and that's, you know, that's one of the problems that I have as well, is that, you know, when it comes down to it, like, okay, if you got the same kind of benefits that I have, all right, we you know, that's cool, but they got the best of the best. Like, they probably get free helicopter service to their house if something happened to them.
Yeah, all kinds of shit. And that's what I be talking about, the elitism that they train us to, like, worship these people and act like they're better than everybody else. Like, and so they deserve to get these privileges that the rest of us don't get.
Fuck them motherfuckers.
But no, but look, but see, I mean, the real problem that I wish that the average Americans would realize is that all that money that they debating is your money. And
Literally.
Your tax dollar.
yeah, that's your money. And then for them to be trying to debate whether or not you can have it, or you know what I'm saying, like, okay, yes, it, you know, the management of it has to be done, but like, you know, when and I mean, just think about this, like, how the hell, like, you know, especially because you know I've been looking at whatchamacallit on Forbes, on YouTube, the Forbes channel, whatever, where whatchamacallit's been talking about Social Security and stuff like that. What's his name? Your favorite presidential candidate?
Sanders, Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, he you know, been talking a lot about Social Security, and it's like, how the hell all these governmental entities are doing well? They making billions of dollars, this, that, and the other. They're not paying taxes, but the money that people have, you know, if the American people are investing their money, you know, they're taking, you know, money out of their check every week.
They should get a return.
There should always be a return, especially, you know what I'm saying, okay, there might be a recession or something coming or whatever, but at the same time, I mean, there's longer periods of times of growth than there is of, you know, than when there's a loss.
If the corporation did the same thing to their investors, they would go to jail. Somebody would go to jail. Because when those people make their you know, investments, they're expecting a return. You know what I'm saying?
And then, I mean, of course, at times it's just the ones at the top of the heap that gets their money back or gets a ROI. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, it's to me like this shouldn't be able to happen if we're looking at investments. Like, I mean, we got some really rich corporations, and even if we do investments in other countries, like, I mean, shit, we buy most of the products from you know what I'm saying, whether it's China, Taiwan,
And imagine
Malaysia.
if people thought like that. Like really, you so right. Like money overseas, like flipping it. You know, like India's coming along. There's African countries that's coming along. There's plenty of opportunities for investments. It would be great if it was an investment firm that was dedicated in making investments in the name of the American people.
No, they do it. They do it, but a lot of times it's masked, or either it's in a pack, like a you know, like you can't just get, you know, sometimes it's like where you can't just buy into to one company. You got to buy into this group of companies within, you know, that country, and it makes it where it's riskier. So I mean, you know, in which, you know, I still, you know, I would do it within like a 401k where I'll go with some of those riskier ones, but I do a lower percentage of my income that will go toward it. So I mean, those things are available, but it's just like a lot of times here they're setting it up so that you lose, or you're not gonna benefit as much as you really can, because overall they want you to be the peasant.
Yeah. I want to play some more Jon Stewart because there's a part in this clip where the actual veteran is talking. He says a few words.
They're never losing their health care. Pat Toomey didn't lose his job. He's walking away. God knows what kind of pot of gold he's stepping into to lobby this government to shit on more people. I'm used to all of it, but I am not used to the cruelty. These people thought they could finally breathe. You think their struggles end because the PACT Act passes? All it means is they don't have to decide between their cancer drugs and their house. Their struggle continues. Gives them health care, gives them benefits, lets them live.
From committing suicide.
Senator Toomey's not going to hear that because he won't sit down with this man. Because he is a fucking coward. You hear me? A coward. Pat Toomey stood up there. Patriot Pat Toomey, excuse me. I'm sorry. I want to give him his propers. I want to make sure that I give him his propers. Patriot Pat Toomey stood on the floor and said, this is a slush fund. They're going to use $400 billion to spend on whatever they want. That's nonsense. I call bullshit. This isn't a slush fund. You know what's a slush fund? The OCO, the Overseas Contingency Operations Fund. $60 billion, $70 billion every year on top of $500 billion, $600 billion, $700 billion of a defense budget. That's a slush fund. Unaccountable, no guardrails. Did Pat Toomey stand up and say, this is irresponsible, the guardrails? No, not one of them did. They vote for it year after year after year. You don't support the troops. You support the war machine. That's all you care about.
All right, so I have another clip coming up, but man, that last comment especially is just evergreen. You don't support the troops, you support the war machine. That's how Congress operates. It's about the corporate
Canada
donors.
the
In this
same
case,
way.
it's about
They
defense.
treat their veterans like shit in Canada too. So while he's reporting on us, so let's report about Canada and how shitty y'all treat y'all's veterans.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, Canada is
But I
one of
mean,
the worst.
Well,
bro.
well, see,
Like,
for me, I don't understand how how is he a Democrat and he's a Canadian?
Well, he's not Democrat because he is Canadian. But he just roots for the Democrats
He's a
here.
liberal. The liberal.
Yeah.
He's a liberal. So
Yeah.
okay, I mean, that's to me that's the same thing. But okay,
Yeah.
my bad. He's got this liberal mindset, and he's pro the Democrats and how bad Republicans, which like I don't get it. Like for me, I don't see how people they can't see how because to some
Contractors.
extent
Another case when it comes
a lot of this stuff does exist the way that they're speaking of it, but it's not 100%. It's not across the board like that. So you gotta be careful about how you really say it.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I agree. Let me play this.
He's against it. Last clip here, and Jon Stewart ends on just an incredible high note.
Boy, they haven't met a war they won't sign up for, and they haven't met a veteran they won't screw over. Now they say, well, this will get done maybe on the after we get back from our summer recess, maybe during the lame duck, because they're on Senate time. Do you understand? You live around here. Senate time is ridiculous. These motherfuckers live to 200. They're tortoises. They live forever, and they never lose their jobs, and they never lose their benefits, and they never lose all those things. Well, they're not on Senate time. They're on human time, cancer time. This is an embarrassment to the Senate, to the country, to the founders, and all that they profess to hold dear. And if this is America first, then America is fucked.
What y'all think?
Shit.
I agree.
I'm glad he's passionate about something, but because he came down. The veterans, I think, is definitely worth it, but there's way more shit to be pissed off about. They do not step up and do the right thing for anything. So hey, look, the veterans, they fight for, but they go out for they fight for the country. They should be taken care of. But, bro, I mean, we talk about the shit all the time. I mean, our homeless problem, our, you know, shit, they get concerned about drugs when it's their own kids and shit. But I'll stand with him on what he's saying right now. But I hope he's just as passionate about all the other fucked up shit that's going on. That's all I got to say.
Well,
like I like Forrest Gump. That's all I got to say about that.
Well, we talked about this yesterday, so I don't want to play too much of this, but let's beat up on the Democrats right quick.
Are members of Congress, Nancy Pelosi, becoming rich because they are lucky, or is it because they have access to insider trading information that they then give to their husbands who trade on the stock market?
Well, I'd say it's probably fucking both. What do you say?
Yeah.
Is it? Well, to me, like this Nancy Pelosi, this has been talked about for a while now, bro. And this is the exact same. I mean, it really should be even worse. But what's her name? Snoop's cooking friend,
Martha Stewart.
Yeah, they made her do time.
Yep.
Yeah.
For on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, who? If I hear something that I got my money in is about to tank or whatever it is, like, think I'm not gonna do it? Like, look, if you got the right to invest or have your husband invest for whatever reason, okay, but anybody, like, shit, Ray Charles could see that this is some bullshit going on. I mean, it don't really take much to see it. It's clear.
Well, I don't know if it was a different time or did we have more people that had more of a moral compass when Martha Stewart got convicted?
Come on. The fuck?
Yeah, thank you.
Please get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I was trying to catch up on my water without spitting it out.
I almost choked too.
That shit. That shit was fucked up. What happened to Martha? But it's just, I feel like they had a picks, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was saying when it happened. I think that she wasn't inside. She pissed somebody off. She was, scapegoat or whatever, like made a make an example out of.
She was the scapegoat because there was, bro. There's always been bullshit going on in this government. Like, all right, look, I'm born in '75. I start really kind of slowly like I remember when Reagan was president. When I really started understanding more, I guess, after Clinton, during Clinton, or after Clinton when Bush was in office, like, bro, like it's a repeat, like they
wash,
just put
rinse, repeat.
Yeah, it's repeat offenders. Like, it's just insert new
face,
physical, like presence. Like, it's a
identity.
It's all the same. Yeah, it's they're all the same, and it doesn't matter. Like the whole. I mean, the Democrat Republican thing only matters to the people, because that's how that's where, like, most of them relate as far as idealism. But shit,
it don't matter.
They are
it don't matter at all. Let me play some more of this.
Believe that Nancy Pelosi's trading deals, or the Pelosi family's trading deals, are somewhat benefiting from Nancy Pelosi's insider information.
A new filing from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi showing a purchase by her husband last month of 20,000 shares of NVIDIA.
She does always look a bit startled, don't she, Nancy Pelosi?
20,000 shares of NVIDIA.
Presumably because she's always been told of a new windfall. We just made another million.
Worth between $1 and $5 million. This is especially noteworthy since Congress has been debating billions of dollars in support for the U.S. chip industry.
So while Congress is debating whether or not to give billions of dollars of support to the chip industry, Paul Pelosi has invested in a company that benefits from profits in the chip industry. Now, if you see a connection between Nancy Pelosi debating about whether to give billions of dollars of support to the chip industry and Paul Pelosi investing in the chip industry, you're obviously some sort of conspiracy theorist. I go, what if they talk about stuff when they're at home and him being a trader and all, they make some money from those trades?
Over the course of your career, has your husband ever made a stock purchase or sale based on information he's received from you?
So wait, this is cool right here. Like her answer to this is correct, and then she's gonna walk away. But the question was, damn it, I can't see it. If your husband ever made a stock purchase or sale based on information he received from you? That's the question.
What are you saying?
If ever you're asked a difficult question in public and you don't want to answer it, there's a few simple tips. First, ask them to repeat the question.
What are you saying?
Then sort of crane forward, all weirdly.
Over the course of your career, has your husband ever made a stock purchase or sale based on information he received from you?
No.
Then say no, as if you're sort of offended by that.
No.
Even though perhaps all day at work you've been debating whether or not to give billions of dollars to the chip industry, your husband has just invested in the chip industry.
Absolutely not.
Then to make absolutely sure that people know you disapprove of the question, just give that microphone, just give it a little bobbing down. Like it's offered you fellatio, but then shown reluctance.
Okay, thank you.
Then leave. Just leave altogether. Walk right out there. Don't stop walking till you're at home and you can enjoy some of the money you've made from the chip industry.
Okay, thank you.
If you want to look.
So it's like these people are so sinister that this side is more sinister. Like I swear, and it's like they feel so privileged, and it's like, oh, you that question is offensive. Like this interview is over. You know what I mean? Like, how dare you even ask me that? You know, that's what her face said.
Yeah, they are very biggity about you know, because when they do stuff, they're not supposed to get checked on it. Like, as far as they're concerned, look, I'm Nancy Pelosi,
Right?
And you know, like,
I'm the Speaker of the House, bitch.
Yeah,
Who the fuck are you?
yeah.
Who are you to check me? I am Sire.
Yeah. Bring me the royal fool. Where's the royal fool? They don't dance. All they do is this. Off with his head. Yeah, man. And there's another clip in here and this really shows her sinisterness. Like she pushes the little kid out of her frame, like she gives her a little elbow shrug, like, and like it just shows how these people really are. Go ahead. I'm gonna play that in a minute though. Go ahead.
I don't know. I had the thought about your boy Trump talking shit about Pelosi, and you know, because Pelosi says she's a Native American, and he's like, shit, I give X $1 million or whatever to her favorite, you know, whatever it is, organization, if her DNA comes back showing she's Native American. But I mean, Trump knows, just like most of us know, most of those people that's there weren't a part of those tribes ever to begin with. They was the $5 Indians or whatever. But
yeah,
she's a scam. I mean, really, just to say, she's a scam artist. And she's been doing different things like this all her life. Like, I mean, her parents taught her well on how to get over and use the government for her come up.
Yeah, let me play some more of these.
look like you've got nothing to hide regarding questions around the chip industry, don't, as soon as someone mentions the chip industry, destroy the device that you're supposed to talk into when talking about the chip industry and just leave your place of work.
Thank you.
Still going. Where is she? Where is she? Why won't you wear something luminous so we can spot you 20 seconds into the shot? Oh, she is. A few facts on the matter. Close to 75% of the Pelosi stock trading over the last 2 years has been in big tech. That's more than $33 million worth of trading. Indeed, all 5 of the Pelosi's most traded stocks over the last 2 years just so happen to be the 5 Silicon Valley giants that will be most affected by pending legislation. I don't have anything personal against Nancy Pelosi. You know, some channels, they just might not like Democrats or they might not like her style or something. It's not like I personally dislike Nancy Pelosi. I'm more interested in systemic corruption and a system that allows members of Congress or a sitting Speaker of the House to make investments in companies that they are regulating, or if not directly, then members of their family, either a spouse or a dependent child. For me, if you were interested in eliminating corruption, wouldn't you just pass regulation that prevented that with no loopholes before you start? No loopholes. The company in which the Pelosi's traded most often, Apple. Buying and selling in that one company accounted for 17.7% of the Pelosi's overall trading volume. And yet, during this same period, Pelosi held at least one private conversation with Apple CEO Tim Cook about the state of Apple and possible effects on the company from various pending bills to reform Silicon Valley. No, they won't have talked about that. They could have talked about all sorts of stuff. And another piece of regulation you could pass is that you wouldn't have such a tight, cozy relationship between the Speaker of the House and the CEO of Apple. Do you know what I think the problem of the world is today? I'll tell you. Let's cut to the chase. I think that big business, state power, and the media cooperate and collaborate to such an extensive degree that it's impossible for ordinary people like you and me to have an impact on the power dynamics that directly affect our own lives. We don't run our own community. You could vote, you might not vote, you might vote Republican, you might vote Democrat. None of those things are going to be as impactful as the relationship between Tim Cook and Nancy Pelosi, not to mention the obvious personal benefits of potential information that she could allegedly give to Paul Pelosi. So for me, this is an important story because it's a demonstration, as you know, as you're obviously aware, of the relationships that exist between the state, between Congress and the corporate bodies that they're supposed to regulate. How is there going to be meaningful regulation that's beneficial for ordinary Americans and ergo the citizens of the world more broadly if those kind of relationships exist? Let me know in the comments below because I simply can't imagine how it's possible.
Sponsorship.
I'm on the internet right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
My thing is, my thing is like they don't even let like people who work at the lottery office and people that live. I mean, that's in
their family members.
Their family members that's close by. Like even like if they was to buy a ticket and they won, like you probably they would have to void it. Like it would have to act like it just didn't exist because it's too close for comfort. Like it just seems like just something that just wouldn't sit right with the people. If they saw that somebody that works for them and then whether it's their brother, sister, cousin, husband, or whoever, it's just not right. And really it should be the same way with investments. If you're going, like there should be certain investments that they can do that they're not like can go in and out of or whatever. Like they can do something like putting money into a 401k or IRA or ETF or you know what I'm saying, like different shit like that they can put money into. But when you're doing specific companies and and in and out of these different investments based on potential conversations, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's organized and managed by somebody else, okay, that's one thing. But you can't be giving them, information, like significant information because of your position. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not right. It's not fair. If that's just not. It's just not cool.
I can't find the clip where she shoved the little girl. I really wanted to play that. I might look that up and play it tomorrow because I should have wrote down a timestamp. This is a lot to do. Let me read these comments. It says, "You can't get rich in politics unless you're a crook." Harry S. Truman. Another comment, it says, "We need term limits, 6 years max, and an end to lobbying. It'd be great if everyone in the U.S. voted and refused to re-elect anyone who served more than one term in office." Another one, it says, "She's a perfect argument for term limits." It says, "They aren't just using inside information, they're making laws that directly change the market." Another one, it says, "The way she looked disgusted by the question and like she's above being asked such a thing tells you all you need to know. She's above all of us and doesn't play by the same rules because of her position and power in the government."
Some of y'all think the insurrection was a bad thing. Oh, my bad. Did I say that? Well, it wasn't even successful as far as I'm concerned, but
yeah, I think I'm gonna move on. I can't find what I'm looking for. I'm gonna move on. What do you think, Deuce?
Shit. Same thing. She just said ain't nothing gonna happen to her. But it's good to bring it up. Ain't gonna happen to her, you know, and I feel like people like that shouldn't even be allowed to be able to invest and shit like that. Like if you're supposed to be the one who's on the board to control and regulate corporate entities, you shouldn't be allowed to invest money into that shit like that. Like, to me, that's considered insider trading, if you ask me.
yeah, but nobody. And the thing about it is, she's not the only one doing it. It's just that she's just so happened to be bad at doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, her husband is going crazy. Like, you know, I don't think like everybody's not just, you know, 20,000 shares of one company. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty damn heavy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you might find a few people buying a couple of thousand shares, you know, 1,000, maybe 5,000. But like, you talking about 20,000 shares of a company, especially if it's a tech company that's, you know, probably has, you know, worth a few, you know, most of them probably worth over $100 a share or more. And that's just one company. That's not even just saying what the, you know what I'm saying? You figure that out, how much money that is on just one investment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just saying $100. So that might be worth way more than that.
Yeah.
But even if it was just $100, I mean, you're looking at what is that? $2 million?
Yeah. But that's like I say though, man. Like, you know, there's no checks.
Huh?
I say there's no checks, and the American people have no. You can't even speak against this shit. You know, like.
Well, yeah, if you go too far, you say too much. I mean, because she's a part of one of the crew that'll suicide you.
Yeah, but most people wouldn't even say that it's real. They would just not even acknowledge it. Yeah.
I want to play this segment just kind of for fun. It's not really fun, but because I don't normally cover stuff like this, but it says Taco Bell employee throws boiling water on customer, melting your skin off. This is the title of the video by Willie D. The girls who got burned are suing, I think it's Burger King. They really got messed up. And then the manager was the one who did it. Let me play this.
What's up, family? A lawsuit filed against Taco Bell claims A manager at a Dallas location throwed boiling water on 2 customers after they complained about an incorrect order. According to the lawsuit filed July 13th in the 14th Judicial District Court in Dallas County, customers Brittany Davis and a minor identified in court documents as CT alleged that Taco Bell did not properly train or vet its employees, according to the Dallas Morning News. The 19-page lawsuit lists Taco Bell and its parent company, Yum Brands, local franchisee North Texas Bells, and 2 employees who are not identified by name and seek more than $1 million in damages.
$1 million.
The lawsuit, filed by civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump and attorney Paul Greinke, alleges that Taco Bell and its employees displayed gross negligence and hiring negligence. The incident occurred on June 17th after Davis and CT went through the Taco Bell drive-thru and received their $31 order wrong 3 times. The 2 went into the restaurant to resolve the issue, and Crump said they were locked inside the restaurant by employees. The alleged attack happened after Davis spoke to employees for about 10 minutes, the lawsuit states. Instead of simply correcting the order, a Taco Bell employee threatened to fight CT, a minor, and the Taco Bell store manager violently and without warning poured a bucket of boiling water over CT's and Brittany's heads, shoulders, breasts, and legs, causing excruciating 2nd-degree and 3rd-degree burns on their bodies, the lawsuit states. A 2.5-minute video released by the plaintiff's attorney shows 12 different camera angles in and outside the restaurant, the Morning News reported. The video shows Davis and CT standing at the counter. As Brittany Davis speaks with the woman behind the cash register, an employee grabs a pitcher and fills it with water, according to the video. Then the employee takes the pitcher, walks towards the front counter, and douses CT and Brittany with the boiling hot water. Who's wrong? Was the employee wrong? Was the employee wrong?
Was he or she?
So one small detail I missed. Brittany and CT went behind the counter to confront the other employees. They wasn't on the other side of the counter. They went behind the counter to confront the other employees. Now, I don't know, fam. This sounds like a crime to me right here because they wasn't actually swinging on anybody. You can make the case that they shouldn't have been back there at all, which I will agree. They shouldn't have went behind that counter in the first place. So, you know, when you make a move like that, you tend to get what you get. But they shouldn't have went around that counter in the first place. But I do believe that the employee took it too far. I do believe, okay, maybe if the fight break out and, you know, getting your head beat in or something, you grab the water, you know, water to defend yourself or whatever, cool. But it was like, she was like, I'll shut them up. She just went and grabbed the water, just, you know, before they could do anything. So absolutely, Taco Bell is going to pay.
What do y'all think? Like, and Willie is being really soft on them. He's like, you know, he's definitely biased in this circumstance. He always is with this. I used to watch his show a lot. I'm a fan of Willie D. I'm a big fan of him. He's funny as hell. So, but like, he's being biased a bit on this. And I saw the clip. It's not a very long video, but you could see that the girls had went behind the counter. And then they're talking, they keep saying there's a minor, but the chick didn't look like a minor to me. She looked grown as hell. And they went behind the counter and they were like threatening the people behind the counter. I'm sure they came in the store cursing and talking shit like they're gonna kick you, I'm gonna kick your ass or something like that. Who knows? I couldn't hear. There's no audio in the video. But you could see like they're threatening body language. They went behind the counter, the 2 of them threatening body language. And then the lady, just like he said, she dipped the thing in the water and freaking splashed it on him, and then the girls ran out of the store. That's the end of the video. So basically that's what happened. But then they say that the order was wrong 3 times. And that's another thing. Like, people who go places and people always get your order wrong. What's the common denominator? And I've been there where, like, I ain't gonna say who, but around people, and they make orders and they're like, let me get a half tea, half lemonade, and let me get a lemonade mixed with Coke, and then let me get let me get a lemonade with just a splash of tea in it, and put a little bit of ice in this one and put extra ice in the other one, and all of this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you do that, there's more of a margin for error. Like, the chances of something not being right, a lot of times it's not that these people want to get your order wrong or whatever. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you just, like, they do this all day, so they automatically fall in the rhythm with it. And certain things are the same almost every time. So you're just going through the rhythms, and sometimes you're just going to go through the rhythm and do it the way it's done normally. When you modify it like that, then that's what's going to happen. Instead of you getting the tea mixed with lemonade, you either get a lemonade or a tea. You get what I'm saying? So, anyways, what do y'all think about this?
Yeah, I mean, I oh, well, go ahead.
Look, bro, 3rd time, just give me my money back. You know, 2nd time, just give me my money back. You feel me? Like, that's where I'm at with it. Like, I don't even want to send it back and have you guys fix my order the correct way. Like, it's not going to be, my order is going to face some type of trauma. Somebody's going to get pissed off.
Yeah.
I may get spit in it. Motherfucker may kick your tacos around on that dirty ass floor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the dude that just got finished dumping out the trash and the grease traps come in and didn't wash his hands, got to fix your order type of shit, you know? Like, and then furthermore, people have to understand, bro. Like, I'm not saying what the employee did was right, but people have to understand, especially in a town like Dallas. Dallas is not some beautiful part. I'm willing to bet you that was probably like in one of the South Dallas or somewhere around close by where it's prone to have violence. You come behind that counter, now you're in you crossing the barrier. You feel me? You don't belong back here. Hey, man.
And I feel threatened.
I feel threatened. So, I mean, you just never know what the fuck's going to happen. Like Willie D said, maybe the employee went a little overboard with it, but how can you say something is overboard? You know, when you in the heat of the moment, tensions arise, motherfucker talking shit, yelling and screaming, and you used to shit going 0 to 1,000 real quick. Shit, you like, fuck it, I'm finna get this bitch before she get me.
Yeah, because I don't know if she got a gun or a weapon or a knife. She's back here behind the counter threatening me and my employees. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm trying to protect myself and my employees. I don't want nobody to get hurt. None of my people to get hurt.
I'll be the same way, bro. Like, I worked at Whataburger and Silver Lake Whataburger over there, what we call Silver Lake neighborhood, right there in Pearland off of 288 and 518. And nigga, it's the middle of the night. We had motherfuckers come in there because they got mad at the chicken drive-through. I'm on the grill. Motherfucker come behind the counter, nigga. I got the spatula ready. That bitch is loaded with grease and it's hot as fuck. You come my way, you finna get hit, motherfucker. I'm finna slice your ass. I'm finna burn the fuck out you with this spatula and this fucking meat press. Like, that's just how it's finna go down, bro. So, hey, if they get money out the deal, so what, bro? If you want to call me a criminal because I hit a motherfucker that stepped behind the counter that ain't supposed to be back here, and my PTSD that I grew up from the fucking hood, nigga, like, hey, fuck it. It is what it is, bro.
And people always want to win because it's all about the suit, and that's why Willie D is all on it, because he's like, okay, yeah, get your paper, because that's how he roll. So, and I get people thinking that way, like you feel like you get screwed in society already off top, so you're just trying to find a way to win, you know what I mean? At least a little bit here and there, whatever. So whether it was true or not, and a lot of the suits are frivolous anyways, like the whole thing with I'll sue your ass, like the whole thing. I don't even like that system, because if somebody was wrong, then it should be The law should adjust to deal with that. A lot of those things, they're all civil cases. The police and cops and stuff, that they don't even get
Well,
involved in it.
well, that type of situation right there, clearly the employee did not use the same amount of force that was used against her. She used an excessive, which could be considered a deadly use of force, because that could have very well killed one of them. You
Yeah.
feel me? So we can't excuse that, but I'm just telling you from my perspective. If you walk behind that counter, nigga, and you threatening and you talking and motherfucker look like they reaching, nigga, it's either me or you, and I'm finna go ahead and get me one out for it. Motherfucker gonna be like, yeah, that nigga Darryl got shot, but shit, he sure slapped the shit out that motherfucker. You see the bachelor
Yeah.
fingerprint on his face?
It's the ultimate
Like,
case of fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out, you know?
yeah,
And a lot of people, I've been
yeah.
seeing clips of people going behind the counter. It's always women, seems like, going behind the counter at restaurants because they mad about
You
something.
seen? Did y'all see the video clip that was surfacing around where the Dollar General employee got into it with a customer, and the customer was talking shit, basically clowning on the girl and talking bad about her and her mother, and the girl got pissed off and shot her. They got into a little scuffle. She went back behind the counter to her purse and shot her.
Because what people
Like,
don't tend to forget is like these are humans just like you. Like they at work, but they humans just like you. They get pissed off just like you. You know what I'm saying? Like they got guns just like you. Like just because they got on that uniform doesn't mean that they not gonna do something like to your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like people think about it. I'm sure you're at work, you think about it. I don't want to lose my job. But sometimes it just be like, man, like I'm already on the edge on this job. Fuck this job. And this person is fucking disrespecting me and I can't, this is too much for me. This person didn't cross the line. Like so many fights you see like it happens a lot at McDonald's and Popeyes. Like the staff of McDonald's and Popeyes be ready to scrap on a moment's notice. And they all just gonna jump on your ass because it's like, bro, we back here busting ass making chicken and shit. Like, bro, we don't feel like it, bro. Like, it's not that serious, bro. It's like your lunch. This is not that serious. Just go eat somewhere else.
yeah. Like I say, nevertheless, we can't excuse what the employee did. I mean, to me, that's a deadly use of force because that could have very well killed both of them. You know what I'm saying? And then we'd have a different situation. But at the same time, say, man, people have to understand, bro. Like, you can't just walk up on somebody. Like, all that pranking shit people be doing. Like, I think that shit funny when I watch them videos. But I be saying to myself, dude, better not walk up on me and do that because I probably knock the fuck out of them. Like, that's just a natural reaction. Like, you have now crossed into the space where I feel somewhat safe. Now I'm threatened. My senses are like, it's just a muscle reflex, motherfucker. I'm finna whatever. Like, don't walk up on me, type of situation.
Let me read the
You know?
comments. The comments look like they're on the Taco Bell people's side more than the girls. Let me read the comments. It says, when you come behind the counter, I'm taking that as an act of aggression. If I was a judge, I would see it as the same. Another comment, it says, I think this will be a valuable lesson learned for those young ladies and others who choose to behave in a similar manner. Whether it's an incorrect order or the price of an extra sauce, you don't have a right to come around the counter to enter the work area. They are justified in treating it as a threat and acting accordingly. Another comment, it says, that's why I don't eat fast food. And some of these customers act crazy when you mess up their order. Like at Subway a couple weeks ago, a customer shot and killed a woman over too much mayo on their sandwich. They didn't have no reason to go behind the counter. Just ask for your money back. That's the same thing you said.
Exactly, bro. It's not that serious. A split second decision like that off emotions, because somebody talking, that's just like, what was it? I think it was last month in June. I was in Memphis. Like I parked at the Loves over in West Memphis, Arkansas. Pat know what that is. That's the hood, nigga. Like the hood. Dope. They selling dope in the parking lot. They selling prostitutes. You getting everything. And so I walk up. I'm sitting there now. I got food in my truck, but I'm sitting there. I'm like, bro, you know what I thought about? I thought about them 3 wings and the biscuit you and I used to eat all the time. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'm finna go over here and get 3 wing and a biscuit. And so I'm in Memphis. And our girl's like, oh, third, we don't have no 3 wing and no biscuits. We out of wings. And I was like, okay, yes, ma'am, no problem. I say, well, let me get a breast then. A breast and a jalapeno. Well, I just give you the toothpick. You know, like she off the rip with an attitude, but I understand her environment, so I'm steadily, yes, ma'am, that's fine, no problem. I appreciate that. Thank you for looking out for me. You know, that's just me because I know the area that I'm in, and I know, nigga, these females over here in West Memphis, Arkansas, they ain't nothing to play with, bro. Your ass will get done in. Like they more hood than a lot of niggas I know. Like
Probably say, bro, they probably way more hood than the average dude, or shit. Even some of the gangster dudes or whatever the other dudes from the hood, because they ain't say, bro, shit. Okay.
Yeah, like Memphis. If you ever go to Memphis, Memphis is not a place if you get your order and your shit wrong, just go on leave the drive through. Just go on leave the drive through. Like fuck it, count your loss. Like I don't really like mustard, but this shit tastes good on this burger today. like like Memphis is somewhere you don't fuck around, bro. Like
Like
you
I
gotta
don't
know
even
your
eat.
audience.
It's like, you know what? I wanted chicken and I got a ham. All right, I guess I'm just gonna be eating this, or either
Just handle it.
yeah, it just gonna eat it like it is.
Hell yeah. And 9 times out of 10, when you in an area like that, if you go in that bitch and there's some dudes that's sitting at a table somewhere that ain't eating and they got a cup that they keep getting free refill drinks off of, nine times
That's
out
their
of ten,
boyfriend.
one of yeah, that's their boyfriend, and that nigga that ain't got shit to lose. Like, so you might want to just go on, yes ma'am, no ma'am, get the fuck on about your business, for real.
So which one you at? You at on Martin Luther King,
Nah, that
the
KFC
one
at
with the Denton?
the KFC that's the KFC that sit
Oh,
on
you
the
by the
property with the
Loves.
loves. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's where I was at. This was when I was running solo last month. My co-driver went on vacation.
where's uh where's our host?
Shit.
My bad, y'all. I'm back.
Yeah, your host he ran because he wanted soft tacos from Taco Bell. They gave him crunchy tacos, and us having telling our story made him think about it. Yeah, I better eat them crunchy tacos.
Before they turn into mushy tacos, they're gonna be soft tacos if you don't eat the most.
You ain't lying.
You shouldn't eat Taco Bell at all. I'm just gonna say that. Don't go to Taco Bell at all, y'all. Please, just don't even eat it.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
because their taco ground beef is not real meat. That shit is like 5% meat, and the rest of it is oatmeal, which is a meat filler that they put taco sauce on and smother down. Like, yeah, that
They
shit
add.
is not
It's like
real meat, bro.
they
I
add
would also
water to that shit. It's like that shit you
yeah,
get in prison. Anyways,
I would also say that the meat is probably not halal.
I mean, so many things wrong with it. So many things wrong. It's not gonna be. It's not a good idea. Just don't go to Taco Bell. But I get it. It's kind of like McDonald's. The whole reason why McDonald's exists is because you can go get a burger for $1.59 or some shit. Like you only have $1 and you're hungry. Like where else you gonna go?
Man, fuck McDonald's. I don't eat that shit either.
So
Nah.
Taco Bell and
Bro, you
McDonald's,
know what's
they
crazy? Like growing up, dog, living over there on the north side, like we had a McDonald's there, but the only time we went to McDonald's is when they had that 2 for 2. What was it? The 2 for 222 or
Yeah.
So shit like that. Most of the time we went to Jack in the Box. Man, let me get a jumbo jack.
You talking about back in the day?
Yeah.
Back in the
Because
day
they
when
ain't
they
did
had
that in
that 2
forever.
for 2. Yeah, that
You
2
could
for
barely get.
222.
I
You
ain't gonna
could.
lie. What I used to love that quarter pounder with cheese meal, $2.99,
Yeah.
and
You
you
can't
pay
get none of that no
320,
more.
pay
You
$3.23 after tax.
Nah. Even the burgers, like I said, $1 for a burger, but you can't go get to McDonald's and get a burger for $1 no more. I mean, I said that, but that's really not true. and
What? They're not burgers, first of all.
yeah.
But bro, you remember back in the day, nigga, you could have $1.25 and go to McDonald's and get two regular cheeseburgers and a small fry for $1, bro, and get you a cup for ice water
Yeah.
and put Sprite in that bitch.
Yeah. So, but that's what I mean. If you only got a couple of dollars, bro, like McDonald's is it turns into an option. Like, let me read some more comments because these are good. It says, "This is all I know. If someone gets my order wrong 3 times, just give me my money back, but you better leave people alone because you don't know what someone is going through." Another one, it says, I've been door dashing for a side gig for a while now, and I can honestly say I see the aggression on both sides. Some employees at fast food restaurants can be very rude to drivers. I can say, like another commenter in the chat, that I cut out eating fast food. It's some very unhoused trained people working in them places. I love to cook nowadays. Past 4 years living alone, times change. They're saying it's dangerous to go to a fast food restaurant. And we're not even talking about the food. Let me read some more. It says, I don't understand why people go behind the counter thinking they're not going to get dealt with force. Keep your butt in front of the counter. It says, just like that bodega worker in New York who stabbed and killed that guy, black folks, listen to me. Stop going behind these counters. Everybody who worked back there ain't no punk.
Yeah. Fuck around and get you one of them damn like I used to work at I worked at Wendy's as well in high school. We had this African dude named Mike. And bro, he was the nicest person you ever want to meet, bro. Like he was just real cool, like super nice. Like this dude was so nice where you knew he'd been through some shit growing up. Like he was one of them dudes you didn't fuck with. And man, I never forget, boy. Well, we had a customer that was talking shit in the lobby, and Mike had got moved up to like a little shift lead position. He come out the office. What is this? Get the fuck out of my place. You go now. And motherfucker didn't want to leave, bro. Mike didn't give a fuck. He started walking up on him, and he was one of them that would come to work dressed kind of casual, shirt be halfway hanging out. Goddamn pants look like they come from the fire sale. Shoes untied. Get the fuck out. I say now go. Like he was just one of them dudes, bro. Wasn't scared of nothing, bro. Like and be ready, like nicest person ever, bro. Like you could have great conversation, would help anybody. Very knowledgeable dude, but this dude was he was just nothing to play with. And he tell you, I don't have time for argue. When you argue about the, don't have time for that.
Let me
I don't
play
like
a little
talking.
A little bit of this. I mentioned the Wuhan lockdown. Let me play a little bit of this.
So basically, Russia has survived the impact of sanctions and the Russian economy is still afloat. China, on the other hand, is struggling. Chinese banks have frozen deposits. Local governments are broke, and China is unable to shake off the latest wave of Wuhan virus cases. In fact, the Wuhan virus is now back in Wuhan, the original epicenter of the pandemic. It's reporting a fresh outbreak. How many cases? Just 4 so far. And all the patients are asymptomatic. The outbreak is limited to just one district. That is what China claims. But in typical fashion, China has ordered everyone to stay at home. We're talking about 1 million citizens under lockdown in Wuhan. 1 million. They're not allowed to move around anymore. Large group events have been banned. Dining at restaurants, also banned. Entertainment venues and markets closed. Bus and subway services suspended. China's zero COVID protocol is kicking in Wuhan. The people are afraid of what could follow. The present lockdown is nothing like 2020. Back then, 11 million people were under lockdown in Wuhan. This time, around 970,000. But the people of Wuhan fear that this is just the beginning and that Beijing will widen these restrictions. In 2020, the people of Wuhan lived through their worst nightmare. The Chinese state botched up its response. First, it ignored the outbreak. Then it silenced the whistleblowers. Finally, when the cases began to grow, China attempted a cover-up. By then, it was too late. The Wuhan virus had spread across mainland China, and from there, it springboarded to the rest of the world. By August 2020, almost the entire world was struggling with the Wuhan virus. What about Wuhan? And the city came out of the lockdown, and almost immediately, the residents were out and about. They were partying. You might remember these pictures. Thousands of people in an open-air water park. There were no masks or social distancing. The Chinese state was pulling off the mother of all spins here. It claimed victory over the Wuhan virus. 2 years later, they're back to where they started. Wuhan is under lockdown again, and the Chinese state is unable to tame this homegrown virus.
Okay, y'all got comments?
It kind of reminds me of the same shit they did to us, and you know. And
I ain't gonna lie, that's how I was thinking. I was like, I know people look at this and they be like, "Oh, China sucks," and they look how they handled it. And it's like when you think about the list of the way they handled it and how they did it, I'll be like, do you think that that's regardless of whatever really happened, like when we talk about the lab and the investments from the United States and all of that, besides all of that, let's say this whole thing happened in a lab here in the United States. Do you think the government would have did anything different from China? Like, how different would it have been? I'm sure they would have followed this pretty much the same. They wouldn't have went as strict as far as with the lockdowns, but as far as the part where she said they ignored it, then they tried to cover it up, and then they attacked the whistleblowers and all of that, we would have did the exact same thing.
My thing is, and this is just my personal opinion and how I feel, bro. Like, I don't know if it's because I've been awakening to things and trying to understand the universe a lot better, which basically understanding me and things of that nature. But I just love the way the universe is just giving them their fucking instant karma, if you will. Like, I mean, it sucks for the people, but just look at it, like how that shit is crippling, like all of those that are in power. And I think you and I touched on this last night. Like, these motherfuckers that's in power, bro, this shit is not gonna last forever. That shit is crumbling. It's crumbling, and that's why they scrambling the way they are. That's why they're trying to maintain hold to whatever power that they have. Everything is crumbling around them. You know what I'm saying? They're heirs of their money. They're crumbling. They're dying off. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going down the wrong path.
Yep. And it's global.
Yeah, you can't basically for year after year, day after day, genocide on your own people and expect that you're gonna live a harmonious life. That's not how the universe works.
And what in your mind made you think that you was just gonna continue to keep getting away with this shit?
Yeah.
Like,
it does not work like that, bro.
Like at some point, it's not gonna work no more. Then what are you gonna do then? What is their plan? They're gonna go to Mars. They're gonna build houses in this, like, that's gonna be like satellites that float around the Earth and shit. And they could just. That would be cool though. Let me play some of this. It's only 8 minutes. The title of this: Gas War. Russia cuts Europe's gas supply drastically. So this is the story of really what's happening. And then, the sanctions. I saw a story. They were talking about Afghanistan is a mess, and they're like, their government is not functioning and all of this stuff. But then when in that story, they're leaving out, the sanctions, the freaking blockades and whatnot. And so that's that's the thing, how they make everything look. And then it's like same thing with this recession we're going in and this huge inflation that we're having, where they keep saying that it's Ukraine or whatever and all of that. And then but then they don't know, they're not explaining the part about the sanctions that are on Russia. And then it's like Russia is making it through this storm, and what's happening is the sanctions are backfiring on the Western countries and causing them problems because Putin not feeling it, and then their own actions is causing them problems, and then Putin is kind of punishing them a bit on top of it. You know what I'm saying? Let me play this.
Europe is under attack. Russia is waging an economic war. Russian gas supplies to Europe are down by 80%. Russia could single-handedly push Europe into recession. This gas.
So Russia is cutting their supplies to different countries in Europe. They're lowering their amounts because of, the political situation of the U.S. pushing all of these Western countries to, support Ukraine and sanction Russia and all of this. Then he's like, okay, that's fine. I mean, y'all want to do that. That's cool. But, then, but see, they have legitimate reasons why they're lowering it. It's not because of the political reasons, supposedly. That's what's funny, but it's really petty. Let me play.
War threatens governments and leaders in the EU, and Europe has virtually no defense. Today, Russia announced more supply cuts. The Europeans saw this coming, but that does not make their situation any better. Earlier this month, Russia shut off the Nord Stream pipeline. They said it was for maintenance. Europe feared the supplies will not resume. They did. But now Russia has struck another blow. It has cut supplies further. In fact, these cuts began last month. Quick primer. Russia supplies gas to Europe through Nord Stream 1. It's a gas pipeline. It is operated by Russia's state-owned company Gazprom. Until yesterday, Nord Stream 1 was operating at just 40% of its capacity. Today, Russia has reduced it by half, meaning this pipeline is now operating at just 20% of its capacities. Let me repeat that. From 100% before the war, it went down to 40%, and now it has fallen to 20%. So Europe has now lost 80% of its supply from Russia. And this is bad news, whichever way you look at it. Russia made up more than 40% of Europe's natural gas needs. That's what Russia supplied. Now it accounts for just 15%. The Nord Stream is Russia's biggest pipeline. Last year, it delivered more than a third of European gas imports, but now the supply from Russia is as good as gone. The question is, why has Moscow taken the step? To build pressure, to strike a blow. Russia says it is not getting the parts it needs for the pipeline to function. And for that, it blames Western sanctions. So the message is clear. If you want Russian gas, lift the sanctions.
Russia is not interested in stopping gas supplies to Europe. Russia is a responsible supplier of gas, and whoever says what, be in the European Commission, European capital cities, United States of America, Russia was, is, and remains a country that in no small way guarantees Europe's energy security, and not just verbally, but de facto. On the other hand, if Europe continues to move along this path of recklessly introducing limitations and sanctions, which hit right back at themselves, then the situation here would be a different one.
That statement / threat from the Kremlin came yesterday. Today, Russia has walked the talk. Who is hurt the most? Germany. They are the ones feeling the biggest impact. Germany still depends on Russia for around a third of its supplies, but now they'll have to do with less Russian gas. Who else is affected? Poland, Bulgaria, Finland, Denmark, the Netherlands, Italy, France, Austria, Slovakia, and the Czech Republic. All of these countries have either suffered partial cuts or completely lost Russian gas supply. What will be the economic impact of these cuts? In one word, dire. Leading European economies could be pushed into recession. If Russia completely stops supply, Hungary's economic output will decline by 6.5%.
So Let me. She's gonna explain it some more. I'm gonna play some more of it, but to explain it, it's like, how's it gonna? What's gonna happen is you got the winter coming, and these countries they need heat, and so they're gonna pay for it. See, the problem is everything is gonna cost more, because the reason why it costs less is because it's transported through that pipeline. So they can sell it at a cheaper price. So, but there's no pipeline. There's no other pipeline. So then they'll have to ship the fuel, and that's going to make it more expensive. So that's what she means by pushing them into a recession.
Italy will lose 5.7%. Austria and Germany almost 3% each. And that's why the Russian cuts are worrying. They could plunge Europe into a deep recession. Germany has launched a fierce attack on Russia. It says there is no technical reason for Russia to cut supplies. This is what the German economy minister said.
To draw a line, I think it's an important, very important next step. It shows that Europe stays united, that Europe is able to find unity, and giving a strong signal also in the day where the flows of gas in Nord Stream 1 are reduced to another 20% to Putin and to Russia. You won't split us.
You won't split us, he says. So Berlin is banking on European unity, and it doesn't look like a very bright idea, and I'll tell you why. Today, an important meeting took place in Brussels. Energy ministers from European Union states met. They reached a deal to ration gas. Remember, we told you about this proposal. The EU has proposed cuts on gas consumption. All countries will reduce consumption. They proposed what is now called the 15% rule, 15%. That's how much they proposed to cut. European countries were asked to reduce their gas usage by 15%. For now, these cuts will be voluntary. But if push comes to shove, Brussels wanted the power to enforce these cuts. The EU leadership did not get the deal they wanted. Their proposals have been substantially watered down. They've had to exempt a large number of industries. Plus, they've given some countries a backdoor. Under certain circumstances, these countries can be exempted from the 15% rule. So the EU's plan is not really binding. And that's because a number of countries were opposed to rationing. Spain and Portugal, for example, they don't really depend on Russian gas, so they don't want to ration gas and hurt their economies. Then we have Poland. It was opposed to the 15% plan because its storage is almost full. Poland has a good reserve supply. It says the EU's proposal to ration gas is, quote unquote, totally against the idea of energy security and democracy. Greece, Cyprus, Malta, and Ireland have also rejected mandatory rationing. Hungary is on a different trajectory altogether. It wants to buy more Russian gas. Recently, the Hungarian foreign minister was in Moscow. He was trying to secure another 1 billion cubic meters of Russian natural gas. So long story short, Europe is divided and Russia is hitting it where it hurts the most. Russia is cutting gas supplies and European nations don't want to cut consumption. Ukraine is calling it a gas war. Listen to what President Volodymyr Zelensky said.
Today we saw new gas threats to Europe. Despite the Nord Stream turbine concession, Russia is not planning to resume gas supply to European countries as it is obliged to do under a contract. This is all done by Russia on purpose to make it as difficult as possible for Europeans to prepare for winter. And this is an open gas war that Russia is waging against a united Europe. This is precisely how it should be perceived.
There's no doubt Russia is waging an economic war on Europe. It is weaponizing gas supplies. But remember, Europe too targeted Russia with sanctions.
First.
And this is war. When you attack, you must prepare for a counterattack. So what has Europe done to save itself? Does it have alternatives? Can it get gas from elsewhere? Well, it does have some options. Option number one is the United States. Europe could buy gas from the US, but American supplies are going to be expensive. Transportation is the big challenge. There is no gas pipeline between America and Europe. So the gas needs to be transported in liquid form via ships, and that ends up being more expensive. Option number two is Norway and Azerbaijan. They could supply gas. Europe already has agreements in place, but do Norway and Azerbaijan have enough supply? Experts say they don't, not immediately at least. They won't be able to fill the gap left behind by Russia. And that's why Europe is stuck. It needs alternatives to Russian gas. Its options are limited and less than ideal. And it is running out of time. A cold winter and a deep recession are around the corner.
Yeah. What you think?
Oh shit. Well, she's very harsh in how she speaks. She speaks with absolute certainty. Oh shit. Man, you know, it sucks, bro. It sucks. But I was kind of looking at all of this shit that's going on, you know, around the world, and just kind of thinking about in this video, watching this video or listening to it. I can't watch it, I'm driving, but listening to this, bro, it's just, it makes sense to bring back manufacturing in your own fucking country, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, but
Bring that shit back. Like, they want worker bees. Bring that shit back, and you'll have workers. You'll have people like, bro. You got people that is their fucking life. The oil and gas industry, tech industry, manufacturing. You know, mining. You know, like, bring that shit back here, bro. Like,
I agree.
This country is very resourceful. Like, we have the fucking resources.
Your point is good, but not every country can do that. Not every country has, you know, those resources to produce this stuff. So, but then they could do it with alternative fuels, you know. And I think that's what, if you are in a country that doesn't have oil and gas, then I think you need to be trying to find a way to get your people fuel or whatever, some other kind of way, using some other kind of resource, what you have available.
Well, I mean, you think about it, Europe, you know, all of them over there, they're the ones that are pretty much pushing for all of these EV fucking vehicles. And we, you know, if you look at Europe, you know, I mean, bro, like, you can literally go from the UK over to Germany in what, 2 hours? You know what I'm saying? And then there's a train that they take between there to there. Like, they don't drive the whole way. Like, you get your vehicle on like a little. So it's like, shit. I mean, I'm sure there's more rural areas where it's a lot further, but people that live like inner city, shit like that, like, hey man, maybe it's time for them to use their own shit that they pushing for, because they've been the biggest of talking about you know. That's why they don't. But beyond the fact that they probably have a limited supply of oil to create the fuel, that's why they don't create fuel over there. They're all about this whole, what do you call that shit?
Globalism.
Yeah, globalism and pollution and all this shit, you know, like, they put a halt to manufacturing their own fuel and shit like that.
That's that neoliberalism, and it's not gonna end well. Let me read some comments underneath here. It says, I love the fact that Europe sends weapons to Ukraine to fight Russia, sanction Russia, but then turn around and cry when Russia turns the gas off. Priceless. Another comment, it says, Zelensky, Europe should stop buying Russian gas. Also Zelensky, Russia is starting a gas war. Another one, it says, to be an enemy of America can be dangerous, but to be a friend is fatal. Henry Kissinger. Damn. Another comment, it says, this is war. When you attack with sanctions, be prepared for a counterattack. Well said, Palki. Another comment, it says, it bothers me to not have any reporter directly ask any EU leader, what exactly did you expect from Russia when you initiated the gas sanctions? Like, you know, and these people aren't dumb, so you know they knew. So it's like, that's where that's the question, because then they knew that it was going to hurt the regular folks in all of these countries. They knew this, but they figured you're okay with making this sacrifice. You're okay with paying more for everything. You're okay with it. You know, you have to take one for the team. Meanwhile, they drive a Tesla.
And their house is heated up just fine. Your ass gonna be freezing this winter.
Yeah.
They made that decision on your behalf. They knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah. And if you are not the elite over there, and you're the people that have the big money or come from a family that has money, which, bro, it's so crazy. But and I probably shouldn't say this, but when I think about Europe, and I think about like motherfuckers over there that like, it's like, even though they may not have the same name or this, like, I just think like it was like everybody fucked everybody over there. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all related. They're all kin. That's what I think of when I think about that shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on that. Let me read some more comments. It says EU must have secretly switched to coal for their energy. What happens to their environmental cause now? If any developing country continues to use coal because they have no other option, they are heavily criticized. But it's okay if developed countries do it. Yep. Another comment, it says Europe will stop using Russian gas. Russia cuts gas. Europe, wait, why? These people get it. Let me read some more. It says, thanks to all those leaders who pushed Ukraine joining NATO. Psst. Russia has every right to give its resources to whoever and how much it needs. Another comment, it says, the price of gas will go up. Europe has to pay higher prices and receive much less energy. Meanwhile, Russia raised gas and oil exports to the Middle East, and China offsets European shutdown. Russia's trade balance has actually gone up since the war, and so has the value of the ruble. Russia is also one of the biggest wheat and other agricultural product exporters, and the important ammonium nitrate. Those who go to the Middle East, Africa, and Asia and Russia now has confiscated Ukrainian grain back to Russia too. So what does Europe gain by shipping more arms to Ukraine? Nothing. Most of the arms shipments now has to go through dangerous airplane drops because most of the train tracks have been put out of action. Even when arms like the HIMARS lands on eastern Ukraine, they are tracked and targeted immediately by the Russians and are leveled before even getting each of those 6 million artillery pieces a chance to be used. Just fucking wasting money. And that's why I say I think all that money and arms are really just going to the black market. It's going to this, this black market of arms, and it's all about money. So much money getting made.
Well, I mean,
these
yeah,
guns
some
gonna
of
turn
it
up.
is, but if that shit is if it's getting blown up before it even reaches land, then yeah, that shit's in pieces. So
No, he didn't say he was. They said they'd be attacked. They blow up some of it or they go get it or whatever. Yeah. So, but no, that's just the portion of the shit. You see all the money that we've been sending over there to Ukraine, like that. Even the weapons that they're dropping or whatever, trying to deliver over there is only a small fraction of the shit. A lot of these weapons, like I say, I think are going to end up in different places all over the world. They're going to turn up in Afghanistan. They're going to turn up in Uganda, wherever, all over the place. They're going to turn up in Central American countries. Because the people who got the money are just buying them. It's black market shit. So, these are all criminals. They're not all criminals, but whoever got the money to buy it, most likely they're going to be criminals. Let me read some more. It says, this is war. If you attack, you must prepare for counterattack. Powerful line. Sanctions are economic war, and at the center of any economy is energy. How is the EU expecting Russia to fight this sanctions really? I don't understand European logic. They ban all Russian business, but if Russia bans its oil, they are shocked and cry human rights. What are they thinking? One more comment. These are all really good comments. These people are on their shit. It says, I have a feeling the true impact of the present crisis will be felt during the elections. Many of these European leaders could face serious backlash from their citizens. Yep. I think this clever power play is pressurizing the EU at their most vulnerable period. This will cause the prices to go up even higher because it hits their economy like they hit Russia's economy. This means Russia will make more money when desperate states look for personal interest. By the time Europe develops capacity and alternatives, Russia will have made plenty of money and equally weakened their opponent's economy. This just proves the folly in virtue signaling. Life is full of nuances. It'd be foolish if Europe expects Russia to play nice when they play rough. Yeah, man, that's what I be saying though. That's the only reason why I read comments. And like that's the reason why I want people to join the show and I want to hear what people say because people are smart. People know things. A lot of people are aware of what's happening. They can see through the facade and the media freaking brainwashing. So, that's why I read comments and I support people and because people know like this is a lot of knowledge. If I keep on reading these comments and I learn a lot when I be reading comments. You hear from the people on the ground sometimes. You hear from people right from where they are, where the situation is actually happening. And a lot of the news we never hear from the people on the ground. It could be right here in your same country or right in your same state even, and you still don't hear from the people on the ground. You hear from pundits, and they're sitting in a fucking studio somewhere. And like, really, how much do they really fucking know what's going on? Talk to the damn people, the people that's on the street. I want to hear what they have to say. I don't want to hear what some damn freaking pundit, some expert has to say.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to wrap it soon. What do you think?
Shit, I mean, what did they expect, bro? It's
Yeah.
just, I mean, you can't cry wolf now. Shit, it is what it is, bro. Y'all put all these sanctions, I mean, it just is what it is.
I want to play to wrap it up. Democracy Now! Overall news show.
Welcome to Democracy.
And I'll probably stop it and make comments, and then we're going to wrap it after that. So I'm getting tired.
Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin's agreed to a deal with Democratic leaders on a major domestic policy bill to combat climate change and lower health care costs while paying down the national debt. The agreement caps nearly 2 years of negotiations that saw Manchin repeatedly foil efforts by fellow Democrats in the narrowly divided Senate to pass President Biden's legislative agenda. The emerging deal seeks to slash U.S. emissions by roughly 40% through the end of the decade at a cost of around $400 billion, with tax credits and rebates for home insulation, solar panels, electric vehicles, and more. The bill would also place a $2,000 cap on seniors' annual out-of-pocket costs for prescription drugs and would, for the first time, allow Medicare to negotiate the price of drugs. The agreement with Manchin does not include a tax increase on wealthy Americans. Instead, it seeks to raise about $750 billion over the next decade through a 15% minimum tax on corporations. It's not known whether another conservative Democrat, Arizona's Kyrsten Sinema, will support the deal.
What you think? I don't think that's going to pass. And like I was saying earlier, it's like song and dance and it's controlled opposition. And, I don't even think it's going to pass. And then how's it going to address the issue? And it's talking about solar panels. I like what it was saying about healthcare. That part sounds like something. Negotiating pharmaceutical prices, that will be if that one thing was to happen, that would be a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the pharmaceutical part. I don't know, man. This where Pat at? I gotta ask Pat on this one. I mean, I could see that being as far as the healthcare.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know enough about that solar panel shit to like.
Yeah. Well, it's saying about homeowners to give them like a tax rebate if they use solar panels, if they install them and stuff. So basically, it'll be like subsidizing installation of solar panels on home for homeowners.
Okay, yeah. So basically the same thing that's kind of been going on already.
Yeah.
That's kind of already been in place, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were giving you some type of tax credit if you were getting like a EV vehicle at one point. I don't know if they were giving like some type of a grant or some shit like that if you were getting one, or something they were giving people who were buying them at one point in time. So maybe that's
Yeah.
what they're talking about on that. Okay.
I don't know about that with the EV vehicles, because I know that you have to pay a tax actually. It's like couple $1,000s. I was watching somebody complain about that recently because they didn't know or whatever, they forgot about it or whatever, and the bill came after they bought like a Tesla or something. It's a whole separate bill that comes at the end of the year.
Oh shit.
On Capitol Hill, progressive Democrats joined climate activists Wednesday to demand President Biden declare a national climate emergency. This is Ashley Engel, an activist with the absentee Shawnee Tribe of Oklahoma.
As you may know, Oklahoma is firmly situated on the front lines of the climate crisis and fossil fuel extraction. And currently, we are the epicenter of the nation's heat wave. In fact, we've experienced nearly a month straight of temperatures well over 100 degrees, with only hotter days ahead. Wildfires, drought, and man-made earthquakes brought about by fracking.
Dang, I ain't gonna lie. I don't remember seeing this clip. Maybe I was listening to it while I was driving. I know I watched this video, but I probably wasn't watching this part because this is kind of bothering me how all the Native Americans are so fair-skinned in this clip.
That are destroying our already impacted and neglected infrastructure. With a dependency on an industry that endangers us, it couldn't be clearer that we need a just transition now.
This comes as parts of North America and Europe continue to experience record temperatures. Meteorologists now say scorching heat in the Pacific Northwest is expected to last longer than initially predicted, with triple-digit highs forecast again today in some areas. The Federal Reserve voted Wednesday to raise interest rates by 0.75 percentage point. It's the fourth time this year the Fed has raised its benchmark federal funds rate, citing inflation rates that have surged to their highest levels in 40 years. Fed Chair Jerome Powell on Wednesday dismissed the concerns of economists who say the Fed's aggressive moves to raise the cost of borrowing will lead to higher unemployment and economic pain for working families.
I do not think the U.S. is currently in a recession. And the reason is there are just too many areas of the economy that are performing, too well.
He was stuttering a lot. And of course they would say that, oh, no, it's not a recession. They're not going to say it till afterwards. Oh, yeah. We're coming out of recession. Yeah. They don't want to scare people as far as like this, because this kind of thing affects how people spend, and that's what they really care about.
A former top advisor to President Trump's chief of staff has recently cooperated with the Justice Department investigation into the events of January 6th. That's according to ABC, which broke news of Cassidy Hutchinson's cooperation Wednesday as the Justice Department signals it's investigating former President Trump as part of its criminal probe into efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Also Wednesday, the Justice Department said it has obtained warrants to search the phone of Trump lawyer John Eastman. Eastman was among speakers at the infamous rally near the White House on January 6, where Trump encouraged his supporters to march on the Capitol, even though he knew many were armed. Russia's military has launched strikes on Ukraine's capital region for the first time in weeks. A Ukrainian military official said 6 Russian cruise missiles struck a military base north of Kyiv overnight. Elsewhere, there were competing claims over whether Russia had seized a massive coal-fired power plant in Ukraine's east. Meanwhile, the Biden administration's revealed its estimate of the number of casualties Russia's military has suffered since it invaded Ukraine in February. saying 75,000 Russian troops have been killed or injured in the violence. CNN reports the Biden administration's offer to exchange jailed Russian weapons dealer Victor Bout for U.S. citizens Brittany Griner, the
This guy's a weapons inspector. And they're saying that the United States is willing to switch her for Brittany. What's her name?
weapons dealer Victor Bout for U.S. citizens Brittany Griner, the NBA star, and Paul Whelan. Bout is an infamous arms trafficker known by U.S. authorities as the Merchant of Death. In 2012, he was sentenced to 25 years in a U.S. prison for conspiracy to commit terrorism. In Washington, D.C., Secretary of State Tony Blinken said Wednesday he expects to speak soon with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov for the first time since the war began and will raise the cases of Whelan and WNBA star Griner.
So, but the part where they say, you know, he's they jailed him for what did they say? See, I'm getting tired. That's why I'm gonna wrap it. But to suspicion to commit terrorism. So, but then, like that's that shit that they called all the Black Panthers got locked up for shit like that. And whenever it's like, you know, they always say that when they don't really have you on nothing, because they could just say that.
Of course.
And how do you prove otherwise? How do you say nah? I wasn't on no conspiracy to do no terrorism. They're gonna be like, yes, you was. They got people locked up in Guantanamo Bay right now to this day who have never been charged with anything. They've been there for years. They get tortured. No charges. They probably haven't committed no crimes.
Well, what do you think Brittany Griner gonna owe the government for this if this happens?
It's political. It's political capital is what they're getting for this. She won't. They have a you know, they have something they're getting out of this that's, you know, not related to what she has to give. If that makes any sense. They don't want anything from her. They don't need anything from her. This is a political circus. It's a political ploy. You get political points for this shit. The people. It's all about how the people are perceiving it.
Yeah, we got to get those niggers back on our side. We're losing them. We got to get them. So let's get Griner back over here.
I ain't gonna lie on that. That kind of touches on racism. It really does, because it's related to, like, you know, I read a lot of Stephen King.
We lost the Mexicans, and now we're losing the niggers. And even though we've given them stuff, and we're still losing them.
Yeah, we want them because that's your
let's get Griner back over here.
That's your horse. That's your, you know, your star horse. You know, Stephen King, he writes, and it's a bit of, I've read a lot of his stuff, and he's got some little bit of racism in there, and it's really sneaked in, and it's like, if you pay attention, you can see it, but it's like, it's the trope of the Black person who's special, and they're like close to God or whatever, like they, you know, they're special. There's something special about them. So like, they're not like the other Black people. This one is a special one. You know what I'm saying? That's that racism. And the same thing with Brittany. I don't want to say Griner. You know, she plays basketball really well. You know, hey, she's one of our, you know, you know, thoroughbreds. You know, y'all can't have that. It's really racism. It really is. It's like, but it's sneaky and undercurrent under there. That's my Mandingo right there. That's my nigga. You can't have my nigga. what they saying, Django?
My nigga bitch.
Yeah, my nigga. What they say? That they say wench or some shit. What they would say? Anyways, and Django, he was like, not in front of my niggas, he not. What he say?
I don't remember for Django, but
who is that nigga on that nag? Who is that nigga on that nag?
For real.
Yeah, let me play some more here.
We put a substantial proposal on the table weeks ago to facilitate the release. Our governments have communicated repeatedly and directly on that proposal. And I'll use the conversation to follow up personally.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un said Thursday his nation is ready to respond with nuclear weapons if provoked by the United States or its allies. Kim's remarks came during a massive ceremony in Pyongyang marking the anniversary of the 1953 armistice that ended hostilities in the Korean War.
Our armed forces are thoroughly prepared to respond to any crisis, and our state's nuclear war deterrence is also fully ready to mobilize its absolute strength faithfully, accurately, and promptly to its mission.
Kim also blasted South Korea's new president, Yoon Suk-yeol, saying he was pushing the Korean peninsula to the brink of war. His comments came as U.S. and South Korean officials said the North is preparing to carry out its first nuclear weapons test since 2017.
A lot of that has to do with the West, and especially the United States. And if the United States wasn't all stirring up that whole thing, I think that North Korea and South Korea would be united, or at least they would be like states. And they would be traveling back and forth and be cool with each other. It's the same people. It's the same people. The ones in the North don't have all the access. The ones in the South are like Americans, you know, and then it's the whole thing about the communism thing versus democracy bullshit.
President Biden says he's recovered from COVID-19 and will resume his normal schedule. Biden spoke from the Rose Garden Wednesday, where he encouraged people to get vaccinated and boosted and to wear masks in public indoor settings.
Here's the bottom line. When my predecessor got COVID, he had to get helicoptered to Walter Reed Medical Center. He was severely ill. Thankfully, he recovered. When I got COVID, I worked from upstairs of the White House, and the office is upstairs. And for that 5-day period. The difference is vaccinations, of course.
Bullshit.
Nearly all U.S. states have seen steady increases in daily COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations over the past 2 weeks. Judges in North Dakota and Wyoming Wednesday temporarily blocked the enforcement of trigger bans on abortion, enabling reproductive health providers in those states to resume services after the Supreme Court's decision in June, striking down Roe v. Wade. Meanwhile, the West Virginia House of Delegates has approved a bill to ban nearly all abortions. The bill passed with the support of 3/4 of lawmakers. It now moves to West Virginia's state Senate for consideration. A bill that would enshrine the right to same-sex and interracial marriage into federal law, the Respect for Marriage Act, is nearing a vote in the Senate. The legislation would repeal the 1996 Defense of Marriage Act, or DOMA, and require states to extend full faith and credit to a marriage between any two people, regardless of sex, race, ethnicity, or national origin. House lawmakers approved the measure last week. Among those voting against it was Pennsylvania Republican Congressman Glenn Thompson, whose no vote against same-sex marriage came just days before he attended his gay son's same-sex wedding.
See how, like, hypocrisy to the 110th power. Like, can y'all see that? Did y'all hear what she said? Freaking, this guy went to his gay cousin, gay nephew, whatever's. Gay son's wedding, and then right after that went and voted against gay marriage. He's like, well, shit, my son that got married, he good. So, yeah, I don't know about the rest of y'all, though. These people are terrible. Go ahead. What you got to say?
Oh, no, I was just saying that's just crazy, bro. That's ridiculous. But, hey. Well, I ain't gonna say I don't have, I mean, I don't know. I don't have a dog in that fight, so.
Yeah, but what about the idea? Where do you think this guy stands on the issue? It's hard to say.
Yeah.
The answer is it's hard to say. I mean, he voted against it, but he went to his son's wedding. I mean, like, is he against it or isn't he?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, regardless of the topic of, you know, gay marriage,
whatever. But this shows how they are. He's a politician. And so he's going to go to the wedding and then he's going to turn around and vote against it. Like, where do you stand, bro? Do you have a spine? What do you stand on? What is your square? Do you have a square?
Yeah, that shit there is crazy. You know, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's against it, but because it's his child, he
Just
wants
want to
to
support him.
Yeah, want to support him. I mean, I don't know.
So basically, they're saying, "Well, I'll support my son in his marriage, gay marriage, but I'm not supporting nobody else's. Y'all can't do it, but my son, I guess it's okay. I'm supposed to support him. Either way, that's still freaking like pussy. That's weasel. That's spineless cowardice.
Yeah, the shit crazy. Either way, I don't know, bro.
And play some more.
A grand jury in Illinois has indicted the man accused of opening fire on a 4th of July parade in Highland Park, killing 7 people. 21-year-old Robert Cremo is charged with 117 felonies over the attack, which also left more than 30 people wounded. The indictments came as Democrats on Capitol Hill grilled the CEOs of U.S. gun makers Daniel Defense and Ruger Firearms over their role in U.S. mass shootings. House Oversight Chair Carolyn Maloney said an investigation by her committee found major gun manufacturers have raked in over $1 billion in revenue from selling military-style assault weapons to civilians.
Our investigation also found that gun manufacturers use dangerous marketing tactics to sell assault weapons to the public. That includes marketing to children, preying on young men's insecurities, and even appealing to violent white supremacists. Finally, we found that even as guns kill more Americans than ever, none of those companies take even basic steps to monitor the deaths and injuries caused by their products.
And in Minnesota, a federal judge has sentenced former Minneapolis police officers J. Alexander King and Tu Tao for violating the civil rights of George Floyd. King received a 3-year sentence, while Tao was given a 3.5-year prison term. Both officers were convicted in February of failing to come to Floyd's aid as their colleague Derek Chauvin kneeled on his neck for over 9 minutes, killing him. King and Tu still face Minnesota state charges of aiding and abetting murder in a trial scheduled for January. And those are some of the headlines. Did
you hear about the case? The guy was stealing like $1 dishwashing liquid, I think. And the cops killed this guy. He stole $1 worth of dishwashing liquid. He ended up dead. Did you hear about that? That's the one that's viral. I gotta look it up now. Let me see. How do I search this? Damn it, I don't know how to search this. I want to say $1 detergent. $1 detergent cups.
Fuck, I-10 is fucking rough.
I think it was in Houston too. No, damn it. Because it was the Shape Center. They're doing something at the Shape Center. Fuck, I can't think of what the frick is searching for. Where the hell is this? It's gotta be somewhere. I saw this shit. Where did I see it? I didn't really want to cover it, but I mentioned it, so I want to at least tell what the correct story is.
Because they're protesting about this. I'm searching Twitter right now. Maybe it'll pop up on here. Let's see. Nope. That's not gonna pop up like that. $1. I have to be careful because they suppress this kind of stuff. And the keywords are tricky because if you put the wrong keyword, it's just gonna it's gonna block the whole thing, so it'll be like no results. I think it was Houston police. I can't find it.
Yeah. That's rude.
So where you at? Did you say that already?
Yeah,
You
I'm
said
over
you-
here and yeah, I'm headed towards Louisiana right now. You headed towards Louisiana, just left Houston area.
Fuck. I cannot find it.
Oh, good. Maybe we can cover it tomorrow, bro.
Yeah. I'm not giving up yet. I think I can find it. See, the dude talking about 1 million in jewelry. The Brooklyn preacher, we talked about him earlier. Were you in here when I was talking about that? See, it said
Yeah.
this headline says Brooklyn preacher robbed during church sermon, 1 million in jewelry stolen. 1 million, bro? He had $1 million worth of jewelry. Come on.
Big time preacher. Got it
Ugh.
all.
That's fucking gross. Recent police. See, that's gonna block. Let's see. 4 days ago, Portland police. That's not it. Jalen Walker. Grand Rapids.
Damn. They got a billboard sign up here that says Texas residents can now qualify to receive Louisiana medical cannabis certificate or something, it said.
Fuck, it's not popping up. Where did I see it? Freaking, hold on. I'm gonna fucking find this shit. Give me a second, y'all. I swear I'm gonna find this. Um, Shape Community Center. You remember the Shape Community Center?
Who? What is it called?
Damn it, it's not here. Fuck. The Shape Community Center. It's over there, like in Third Ward.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nah, I don't remember that shit.
Oh wait, I think this is it. Hold on. No comments. I think this is it right here. Roderick. Damn it, is that gonna be enough information for me to call it? To pull it up? Hold on. Roderick. It did say Harris County. Okay, hold on. Roderick. Let me go back. I hope this works. Okay, this is it. All right, so let me see. It's 2 weeks ago. Because it's back in the news because the body cam footage came out 6 days ago. The dude was shoplifting. I do not want to play the video, but I want to get the story. I don't know which one. Hold on. We're going to try it. So I got a few of these, and I don't know which one.
You're watching the Isaiah Uncensored. The family of Roderick Brooks is urging Harris County Sheriff's Office to pick up the pace in their investigation. Police shot and killed him Friday near Dollar General here in Houston. Brooks was accused of assaulting an employee and attempting to steal a police officer's taser. He was killed after a brief chase and alleged fight with that deputy. Now, tonight, his family demands a body camera showing everything that happened at that moment be released.
First of all, Sandra and Demetria, how difficult has it been?
I'm not 100% that this is the one.
Now developing a first look at body camera footage in the shooting death of Roderick Brooks. A Harris County Sheriff's Office deputy killed Brooks earlier this month following a brief chase and struggle. Adam Bennett has been going through the footage released by the Sheriff's Office this afternoon. Adam Brooks' family was able to see some of that footage privately beforehand.
That's right, Mia. And just a disclaimer for our viewers, this video is really tough to watch. Sheriff's officials say they are not drawing conclusions until their investigation wraps up. But Brooks's family does not believe his killing was justified, and their lawyer says a lawsuit is coming. This morning at a church in Southeast Houston, friends and family said goodbye to Roderick Brooks.
There's no words to give a clown and that he went this way. We don't expect to get it like this. My first best friend, and I'm gonna miss it.
Hours later, the body camera footage discussed during the eulogy
Justice for Roderick Brooks
was publicly released by the Harris County Sheriff's Office.
CN35, he's running.
We're not watching that fucking video. So it says, camera video in which sergeant shoots, kills man accusing of shoplifting. So the dude was shoplifting, and I said somebody said it was like $1 worth of shit. Let me see here. Let me read the comments. It says, to everyone talking about the taser is useless after it was fired. That's why the officer felt comfortable to drop it right next to him. The cop was not in any danger and felt like shooting a black man over $1 bottle of dish detergent. So like, and then like regardless, and like the whole thing is like our society, like, you know, somebody steals something and it's like, oh, well, they stole something, so I guess they just deserve to get what they get. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that fucking attitude. Like, you know, I feel like the cops, if somebody was stealing a bottle of dish detergent for $1 or whatever, I think that the cops should be asking the person, what's up? What's going on? You know, why you stealing detergent? You know,
you need some help, you need, wash some dishes or something, like what's going on at home? You know what I'm saying? This person is not a criminal. You know what I mean? That's not a criminal. A person that steals some dollar bottle of detergent is not a criminal. And and even if they were a criminal, that's giving them, making them, executing them is not what you're supposed to do. Like, that's not your job.
No, that shit crazy, bro. It's not right. Like, excuse me.
Let me read some more comments. It says, I'm not a pro cop guy, and I don't think the guy should have ended up dead. From the police and prosecutor's perspective, it was justified homicide, as during the struggle, the guy had possession of the taser. If he was able to tase the officer, he'd gain control of the handgun, potentially use it against the officer. Doesn't matter to the DA if he was reaching just to stop the pain. It's the government versus the citizens. Ugh, the government versus the citizens. Let me read another one. It said he got what was coming. Quit running and trying to fight the police. And this is the attitude that I think a lot of people have. And it's like, okay, just comply, don't fight with the police. Well, okay. I can agree with you there. But should the police kill them? You're justifying them killing the guy. Is he supposed to be dead because he ran and he resisted arrest? Is that worth his life?
I don't think, is there a law like against you running? Like if you running from the cops, I don't think there's really. I mean, that's evading arrest, but what is it like? I don't think that gives the cops. If you're running away from the cops, I don't think that gives them the right to shoot and kill you, unless depending on the crime. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, still.
Well, in this case, it was a struggle that happened, and they say he grabbed his taser. So, but the taser is a fucking excuse because, like the lady said, the taser was already spent. It was a spent taser. It was useless. So the other goose comment about how it could possibly have turned into a whole nother situation and them taking the gun, and it was that's a long ass list of possibilities, nigga. That's a long ass list of possibilities that could happen that could lead to the threatening of that cop's life. So he had to kill him. Just in case all of these circumstances all fall into line for the possibility of the cop's life to be threatened. Was his life threatened at the moment when he killed the guy? Was the cop's life in danger? Actually. Let me read some more comments. It says, that was a straight up execution, Jesus. Another one, it says, actually his last words were shoot me, tragic anyhow. Another comment, it says, I'm sorry I can't side with the cop on this one. Yeah, Brooks grabbed the taser, but it was dead and still connected to him. He couldn't have done anything with it. But if you can peacefully arrest a man who shot up a grocery store, real justice for him should have been a few bullets to the skull. You could figure out a way to arrest a middle-aged elderly man who you have pinned to the ground. Another comment. Does Dollar General even have detergent for $1? Why was the police worth calling for $1 item? Why did he feel the need to steal and then run about $1 detergent? Why would the officer drop the taser so close to Broderick? Why would Broderick resist arrest and grab the taser? Why would the officer threats to shoot him about $1 detergent? Why would Broderick encourage the officer to shoot him over $1 detergent? Why would the officer actually shoot him when the cam shows Broderick resisting and reaching for the taser? The taser would only hurt Broderick himself at that moment. So many questions, so little answers. Great comment, buddy. Let me read some more. It says, he's reaching for the taser to get it out of the way. Come on. Another one, it says, the tomfoolery. We do not know how tasers work. How could the suspect use the taser on the cop? He literally had the prong still in him. Just another case of an overzealous, out-of-shape cop who stumbled his way into losing the upper hand. He got tired, his weak gene kicked in, and he probably did fear for his life. So he murdered the man. That's the most freaking, harsh as it is, that's the most fucking logical thing that happened right there.
Another comment. It says, why did he place the taser on the ground in the first place? It isn't justified. He didn't secure his weapon. He shot him intentionally. Stealing $1 soap isn't a death sentence. Running away unarmed isn't a death sentence. If it was justified, he wouldn't be on leave. Police shouldn't be allowed to police themselves. And 16 to 21 weeks of training to be a police officer is not long enough. I was a correctional officer working in maximum facility with no gun or taser, just a baton with even more of a threat and risk to my life. Having 2 CO against hundreds of dangerous inmates per pod with one person in a booth to watch the cameras. Do better. What do you think about that, Deuce? Because, see, this person is talking from a CO point of view, and they're saying all I had is a baton. And, like, we dealt with worse.
Yeah.
Real criminals.
Yeah, we did, but you know, we did, but you know, these cops, they have the upper hand, dude. All they have to, a cop can lie no matter what and get away.
Chicken
can
was
be
a little bit salty. Not, it was great. See, I ate it all. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, bro. Like, cops get away with everything. Like, pretty much. Like, they can lie on camera, you know, and they say, "Oh, well, we're not gonna." Like, they're on leave and still getting paid, and you know, until they launch the investigation. Like, you see this shit all the time.
Let me read.
Out here, they don't know how to handle shit, bro. Like, honestly. And like though, that a lot of them out here are racist too. They racist. A lot of them are. I'm sorry, I can't explain. I'm kind of tired. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm about to wrap it. How much more driving you got to do?
Shit, probably about 40 minutes left.
Oh, you about to see? See, I got you through tonight because I'm about to wrap it. Let me read a couple more comments. It says, it's a pretty complicated situation. I'm not sure how this will go. I'm curious to know if the officer actually meant to fire his weapon or if it discharged because of the struggle. I think that the officer could be in some trouble here. Another comment, it says, lady, his last words were shoot me. Another comment, it says, he is in God's hands, but there wasn't a lot of people at his funeral set. So these people who are saying that he said shoot me, so then that justifies the cop shooting him? You know what I'm saying? So what if somebody walks down the street and just says shoot me? So if somebody shoots them, are they going to get in trouble for that?
Hell yeah. If somebody tell you to shoot them and you shoot them and they die, then you going to jail for murder. Like,
so these people are justifying it though by saying that he said shoot me. Like, get all the way the fuck out of here. Let me read some more. It says he grabbed the taser to move it out of the way. Are you serious? Another one. It says the robber took the taser. His last words were shoot me. It turned into a robbery when he hit the unarmed black female store employee. What? So it's a robbery. Where is his weapon? And then there goes another person saying the last words were shoot me. So it's like, okay, that justifies it. And what also justifies it is he hit the unarmed black female store employees. So he was armed with the taser when he hit that lady? Where's your freaking logic, bro? Let me read some more. It says, when you grab a cop's taser, you know you are asking for a death sentence. Ioya did just that too. Now the cop dropped his taser where the thug could see and grab it, so he should get better training, but his kill is justified. Man, your use of the English language is not justified. You need to learn how to freaking write sentences. Let me read some more. It says, it was a case of him receiving the taser, so he won't be tased. Why didn't he just throw it away? You got to call BS when you see it. Does not help us. Can I understand your writing, bro? If it was a case of him recovering the taser so he won't be tased, why didn't he throw it away? What? You got to call BS. Here goes another fucking idiot. If it was a case of him recovering the taser so he won't be tased, why didn't he just throw it away? So your dumbass didn't know that the damn thing. Moving on. Grand jury so they can bury this in anonymity. Yeah, I was wondering about that because they were talking about Supreme Court or some shit. Or was that something else? Like, that's confusing. So what is the jurisdiction? Who's, and that's how they do. It'll get lost in fucking, I want to say arbitration, but that's not the word. It'll get lost in like administration. Look, here goes another comment. It says, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So these people are totally okay with this. Like, okay, the guy made some bad mistakes. He's supposed to die. You're totally okay with that. You're like, if he dies, he dies. What if that was you or your family member or somebody you cared about? You're like, well, they shouldn't have did something stupid. I think it's your racism talking. Let me read some more. It says, if you ever reach for a taser, that's a no-no, and you will get shot. Watch any other body cam. But his last words wasn't, why did you tase me? He actually said, shoot me. Never touch an officer's duty equipment. Lesson learned to me justified. Ugh. Imagine that is a gun besides the guy. Makes you think, huh? Wouldn't you holster the gun or taser then cuff? See? The questions. Let's ask questions. You guys are so sure. You already got your mind made up on it. That's your racism. Let me read some more. It says, usual suspects doing the usual things. Yep. Just comply, people. Why is it so hard to understand? Good shooting justified. Oh, my God. I can't really fault the cop on this one. He tried to take the gun from the officer. Most police tasers have 2 shots in them for all you people saying it couldn't fire again. It had the freaking things in it. The fucking, what's the names was in him. It projects those things out. It says, let's not forget that he also hit or assaulted a store employee according to the 911 call. According to the 911 call. Do we know that happened? Even if it did, that justifies his death? How do you even know it happened? You're so sure it happened. Any other time, you're like, let's wait and see what if we don't really know the story. Let's find out. It says, he steals, he runs, he fights with cops, he goes for the taser. Okay, I'm done with this one. Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, you enjoyed your vacation, huh? Fucking.
Yeah.
You said Ivory Coast. That's in Africa?
No, hell no. I didn't go to Africa, nigga. Yeah,
I thought y'all
I
niggas
ain't
went
got
to
that
Africa.
kind of got that kind of bread. Nigga. Shit. Nah, we went to Destin, Florida. No, we were right there on Emerald. It's called right there where we were at. They call it Emerald Coast something.
Yeah, when you said clear water, I automatically was thinking not the United States.
Yeah.
I'm so
there's
used
a
to
lot
our
of
dirty water down here in the Gulf Coast.
yeah, that's because you got to get out of there. But like if you go, bro, like you can go to you can go to Rockport, Texas. Down around Rockport, Texas, they got that bluish, like greenish bluish color water. That's pretty clear. You know, down around that area. Yeah. But nah, man, we got
I never
the
been to
Gulf.
southern. Is it southern
Not
Florida? It's
the
southern
whole
Florida.
Gulf. No, it's right there, like west. Like it's just It's like west, basically. Like you come into Florida, go through,
Is it?
go through Pensacola, and I think it's like you take exit 50 something off of
Oh, so it's
I-10 and
before.
take it down.
It's before Orlando.
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah. Hours before Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah, but nah, it's but yeah, dude, like the people. That's the thing. Like people in Texas, like especially people around Houston, don't realize the Gulf. Not all of the Gulf looks like that. That's only a certain portion of the Gulf down around here that looks like that. There's parts of the Gulf that's fucking clear blue water. You can see right through the water, like literally. That's just down around us. It's like that.
I need to see that because I ain't never seen that.
But you gotta also remember, down around us, there's a lot of industry. There's a lot of, like
And
the water. The water is not very deep around us, so you're getting the
yeah,
waves. It's
it's
constantly
really
turning up that mud and
yeah,
dirt.
it's really just the
So
topography because it's you got the drainage of the Mississippi River right there, and then the way the ocean we have that what they call it. There's a name for it where it's a soft slant, like it's really not deep at all.
no,
You
it's
can
not
go
deep
pretty
at all.
far out. You can go pretty far out, and it's still not deep because it's a really gradual incline, and that's because all of the sediment coming out of the rivers settle in, and that's the same reason why it's all dirty. But I've been to Cali, and I saw their water, but I wanted to,
That's Pacific though. Their
yeah,
water, yeah, their water is beautiful, but I'm telling you, bro, there's parts like you see it in Florida. Not all of Florida is the Atlantic. Florida has a major part of Florida is the Gulf, and the water is beautiful.
yeah,
And then there's parts where it's dirty, where
yeah.
it doesn't look blue. But yeah, no, the Gulf is not all like what you see down around Galveston Island. Like there's beautiful, beautiful parts of the Gulf.
I need to see
Like
that. I
it's
haven't
a
seen it.
beautiful ocean, bro.
So you didn't gave me some destination ideas right now. I'm thinking about it because I love fishing, and then they have those man-made. I know for a fact off the coast of Florida they have these where you could do these tours. It's kind of like scuba diving where they have submerged these ships and shit where it's like, and they become like a reef. You know what I'm saying? And it attracts fish and different species, seafaring
You
species
want to
that
go
live.
fishing, bro? Destin is they call Destin the luckiest fishing island. Like yeah, like I got pictures of all this fish that was caught. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's where.
you can go take a
Oh my
tour,
god!
like a fishing trip, like an 8-10 hour fishing trip.
Oh my god! That sounds like heaven, bro. That
Yeah.
sounds like heaven. I haven't even been. I never really been deep sea fishing. My mom and them used to go whatever out in the Gulf, but and I've been on a boat and went fishing with them before, but when they take you on the boat and they take you all the way out and you fish and you come back with your catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
did that. So yeah, I want to do that, and I'd love to go over there off of Florida and do some fishing out there, man. OMG. I ain't gonna lie. For a trip like that, I swear I would want to go by myself because the kids ain't gonna enjoy. I'm want to be out there. You know what I mean? I love being out there. I can be out there for hours and I'm gonna have a good time. But if I have kids with me, that's gonna cause me to have to go in or whatever. Like, or I'm gonna have to, you know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna be feeling it the same way I am. I might not. I might have to leave them somewhere. I don't know. How would that work out?
Shit. If you're going on like an 8-hour fishing trip or something like that, bro, like you can leave them at the resort. There's shit to do at the resort, and then whoever you going on the fishing trip with, just be y'all out there.
Yeah, that's shit. That sounds wonderful. That sounds great. Oh, anyways, man, I'm gonna have to wrap it. I'm tired. I'll be back tomorrow. I have whatever the videos. I don't think I played the videos that I sent y'all. Let me double check this right quick.
But yeah, man.
Did you
shit, it
get to
wasn't too- Huh?
Did you get to check out any of the stuff? I think Pat was sending some videos too. Did I send y'all? I don't even see nothing. I thought I sent y'all some shit. Okay, wait, I see them. They're just not big. Can't see what they are. It's just the damn link.
And this may be between.
Oh yeah, the dollar. Yeah, I want to talk about that. The dollar is strong right now.
And they thought it was going to go down. Oh, yeah, and we could talk about monkeypox. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. So that's what we'll talk about tomorrow. The dollar, monkeypox.
Where and how air pollution affects us.
I wanted to talk about air pollution just because the other day, Pat, we talked about air pollution for a moment, and I kind of wanted to cover that just because Pat was talking like it's not a big deal.
Busy week. First, Joe Biden landed with a to-do list.
And I think that we so concerned about what we put in our body, like what we eat and all of this. Shit, we need to think about what the hell we breathing in too, involuntarily.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep.
And we'll talk about more politics related to Putin is winning, bro. Anyways. I'm gonna wrap it.
All right.
You almost done, huh?
Yeah, shit, I'm good, bro. Normally this one time I put my I put my Shox headphones on and I jam out.
All right, man. I'm gonna let you jam out then, bro. Peace and love, y'all. Thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for listening. Like, share, and subscribe. Join the damn show and talk to us.
Peace and love, bro.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah. Holla, holla.